realize.
Hey
You know what I
guys,
mean?
did he do a full comprehensive review of the patch notes yet?
Doing it right now, buddy. Why did he say eh at the end, bro? Boris, Shadow Ops, Battle Pass, loot cores plus new currency store, kit adjustments, Discord integration. It gave voice chat, custom match options. I hope this is more than just 1v1. Toxicity improvements. I don't know. Shit, you're getting timed out longer, man? Question mark. What's up, Wintegi? How you doing today, Hello Mochi? Various tweaks and fixes, major balance changes. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Boris, if you want to watch the video, you guys can go watch the video. You can exclamation point patch notes and get the link. Okay. Just gonna quickly click his little buttons. Okay, they show his basic tags twice. Okay. Just is him sniffing feet. A little wind up. Causes a little fear. Kind of a long fear, actually. A little dash. And then you have the fucking grab. Turn up. I'm not turning up volume for that, bro. Shut up, you little robot. Can we get some excitement? Bro, I just woke up. I haven't even drank fucking coffee yet. I don't care about Boris. Little bot, bro. Let me fucking get into the patch notes. Mercy, shut up before you get timed out here, too. Like you got timed out fucking Mercy. Fucking crazy chat. Shut up, Mercy. God. You want to fucking read the patch notes for people, bro? You want some fucking energy? You want fucking stream it yourself, bro. Shut the fuck up, man. What's up, ish? Okay. Battle Pass. 50 levels? I thought they said there were 60. I thought they said it was 60. Anyways. Sereth skin. Second Sereth skin. Which I assume, which I mean is pretty normal, I would say. Is there only a Sereth skin, though? Ten cores. 12 super cores. 2 of them are free. Surprised they don't have, like, platinum on here. Like, you get, like, 200 platinum or something. I feel like that's a little weird. They explained why in the asterisk. Did they? Where's the asterisk? Oh, here. So you're considering community feedback and the amount of time required to complete the pass, we decided to combine some of the currency rewards. I think that's, like, kind of goofy, but personal opinion. I also play the game every day, so it doesn't really make a difference to me. What? Is this in the battle pass or is this just like released? It'd be weird for this not to be in the battle pass. It's fucking evil Peter from Spider-Man 3 Greystone. What the fuck? Shadow Ops in. That's kind of cool. It is kind of weird that they're not all in the, or like at least multiple of them aren't in the fucking battle pass. Like it is weird that it's just a Sereth skin. Am I weird on that? Am I tripping on that, or is that weird? Come on, man. Come on, man. It was funny, but you can't type that. Come on, man. It was funny, but you can't type that. They're giving a discount. Sure, the only skin. She's the only skin in the battle pass, but these other skins are coming with the patch. At least that's what it says here, which is just weird. Like that's just, I feel like that's a little weird, but it doesn't really matter to me. You spend $30 a month on Dunkin' green tea. Green tea slaps, honestly. Green tea goes so hard. Me and Gag were at like the fucking Asian market the other day, dude. I got some green tea. It's actually so good. Okay. Shadow Ops battle passes are out. Bundles, not battle passes. I love green tea. Good for your metabolism. Okay, loot cores. They can drop anything really. Items, cosmetics, currency, sprays, whatever, all that kind of stuff. You can get duplicates. Duplicates are made into the new currency. You can spend a new currency in a store that's specifically for the new currency. Not sure exactly what's in the store, but they'll say. skin variants. Don't need the base skin to equip its variants. So that means you can buy the variant skin without having to spend the extra 300, which is good. Hopefully it doesn't clog this door up, though. I think that would be kind of annoying if it did. Discord, you get a free skin? Holy, what skin do you get? I wonder. I don't think I'm linking my Discord, I'm going to be honest, though. I don't think I want them to be able to have access to my DMs and shit. I'm not going to lie. Hello, Gag. You're a matcha gamer now? Ew. Oh my gosh, typo, redo the patch notes? Where? I don't give a fuck, bro, honestly. Most of this is written by AI anyways, let's be honest. New custom options. It is just 1v2, 1v, 2v2, 3v3, 4v4. Lame, bro, lame. Let me change, like, how much gold you start with. Like, let me change, like, what lanes have minions spawning in them. Let me change, like, what level you are when you start. Let me turn off fog walls if I can. Like, if you want to, like, lock somebody into mid to play ARAM or something, let me do that, please. In the right direction, I guess. No 1v2. You also can't 1v2. That is also there, yeah. Just give me an actual custom lobby, please. But, like, again, in the right direction. It's, like, very minor. I have heard that if you 1v1, you can only play mid lane, though. You can't 1v1 in the side lane, which is really silly. Because the side lane minions just don't spawn. Which is goofy as fuck, in my opinion. But I digress. Just like, I wish they would just adjust it to be actual custom lobbies. Haircut adjustments reworks. Why is this even here, bro? So it's new items. Okay, these are the 4 items I think we were missing last time on the last patch. Because there were supposed to be 18 new items in the last patch. Now that they gave us 14, I think these are the 4 new ones. But there's only 1, okay. Total physical armor, total magical armor. That's going to be OP as fuck. You also get physical. Is it just Overlord? With crit? Wait. Okay, so it's Overlord with crit, and you just get, like, Giga prots. Okay. Did they change Overlord? I don't know. Maybe they removed it. 15 crit is weird. I mean, I hope they made a lot of the crit items 15, so you can't get 100% easily. That's how it should be. Base attack penalty increased. 5%, kind of irrelevant in my opinion. Attack range increased by 200. What's the percentage on that? Like 15%? Overlord with crit? Yeah, it's Overlord with crit, but it also gives you like 10% of your opposite armor. Total, not even bonus either. So like just even your base, and then you get triple that when you're low HP. That shit's actually going to be so broken. That shit's actually going to be insane. $11% increase. This is 11%. Is that math right? I don't know if that's math. I don't know if that math. I don't know if that math is math in there. I'm gonna be honest. Let me bust out the calculator real quick. Because now I'm like, I don't think that math is mathing. I want to be honest. My calculator is broken. You broke my calculator. Nice. Thanks. My fucking calendar, brother. Oh my god. That was a guesstimate. Yeah, I think that math isn't mathing. I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty sure it's like 15% or something. Bruh. My calculator is actually just broken on my PC, apparently. Whatever. I'm pretty sure it's like 15%. Which the movement speed penalties increased by a similar amount, so it's probably like the same, but like, this does mean you can freeze people a little bit more. I'm not sure how I feel about it, though, honestly. 10% use your brain. Mercy. This is not 10%, you absolute bot. $10% would be 1430, you absolute idiot. This is about 15. Literal idiot. If ever, we're getting 5% movement speed increase. Map is already small. Well, this is only when you're auto-attacking. Not in general. Someone said 10%. Yeah, and somebody doesn't know how to do fucking math. That's why you guys can't fucking figure out which builds do the most damage, and then you build shit items, and then go, why are you building these items? I like to build these items. And then I explain to you the math, and then you go, well, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, no shit, you don't understand math, brother. Bots. Mechanic that helps players earn additional XP when massive level deficits. I think that's lame as fuck. It's already hard as fuck to get a lead. Honestly, I think that's very silly. Extra crit damage, not a fan. ADCs are already strong. Hopefully, they nerfed ADC items in some way. Dot gives you 100% lifesteal. Does that even like matter to anybody other than Morgash? I guess it matters if you have like Megacosm. I don't think it really affects anybody though. I'm not gonna lie. Death timer is decreased, so you spawn faster. You can now into towers early game and actually get a faster back. They start to increase harshly at 10 minutes, so maybe you can end games faster because people are dead longer. We have more opportunities to do stuff. Last hit gold share increase from 18 to 6% when you're splitting to 25 to 8. The actual just terrible change, honestly. This is all a terrible change, bro. What? Why? Brother, you're getting an extra 13% gold missing the last hit. That's insane. Why? Why would they do that? What the fuck? That's insane, dude. Dragos bleed? I mean, I guess, but like, oh, it's all lifesteal. For some reason, I thought it was just magical lifesteal. I guess it affects like Omnivamp too. My mistake. I misread that. Bro, why did they do this? This is actually a terrible change. This is a really bad change for the game. This does like two things. One, way harder to get a lead. They also give you more gold per second, I think. Yeah, you're getting... Is this more gold? Like, you're getting more gold per second? What is this? Gold drip delay. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm going to be honest. I think this just means you get more gold drip more consistently. CS early game feels irrelevant as fuck. It does. This is going to make it even worse. Like, this is actually horrendous. This is an actual, like, terrible change. I don't know why they did that change. That change is actually terrible. That is such a bad change. Maybe you can zone people because you have the longer auto attack range. I don't know. This shit seems like a terrible change, though. I'm not going to lie. That seems like actually, like, I don't even have to read the rest of the notes. I could tell you right now that this is probably the worst change of the patch. You can move better in the air, you jump higher. I wonder if you'll be able to jump up the one way by 2 camp and stuff like that now, or like onto the 3 camp ledge. Not a terrible change. I don't dislike it. I don't like it. Not good, not bad. Bonus XP for killing higher level heroes. They already mentioned this. Not a fan, but also like it's like whatever. It's kind of hard to get a lead anyways. So it's like gonna be even harder now as well. Movement speed penalties increased. Penalties now stack multiplicatively with other slow effects. Other slow effects will still choose largest value. Movement speed penalties increased by 5%. Okay, so if you get hit by multiple slows, any second slow will add 5%, basically. So if you get slowed by 3 different abilities that do 30%, you're gonna get slowed for 30%, 5 and 5, and you're gonna get slowed for 40% total. That's not terrible. That's a good change. Gadget Dreambinder ult. I mean, it's just 5% extra per slow that stacks, so it's actually not that bad. It's about basic attack. This is basic attack penalty. Did I misunderstand it? This is how it was explained to me and how I understood it. So is it just like if you're slowed, you get slowed 5% more when you auto attack? Is that what it is? Base attack penalty is 5% higher and slow effect stack with it. So you can get to like 70% slow because you're slowed plus auto attacking. Is that how I understand it? Like if you have a 40% slow, then you auto attack for 30%. Like auto attack slow, you're slowed for 70. Okay, okay, that makes more sense. It's written really weirdly. Uh, dots and multiple instances don't execute minions. This is a great change. I've been asking for this for a while. Makes a lot of like the DOT characters a lot harder to play. Like fucking Morigesh or like Iggy turrets like executing minions and shit. Fucking silly. There's like 3. On hit damage benefits from lifesteal instead of magic lifesteal. I mean, good for ADCs. Proc damage now apparent and on hit. All on hit effects are proc damage. Will interact with their effects the same way they did before. Okay. That hurts my brain a little bit. Shields benefit armor. That's a good change. Shields get a lot stronger. Movement speed caps. This, like, if you have movement speed items. And then this, like, the diminishing returns, I imagine. You're slowed by 10 to 25% while basic attacking still does something. I mean, that's good. That's how it should be. Word radius increased. Invisibility delay increased. So you can actually clear the word even if you don't auto, like, before they even place it down. Thank God. Longer range is maybe good. I don't know if it's, like, great, but it's not bad. It does make it way easier to word, like, corridors, though. It's probably... Does sentry radius increase as well with this so that you can see the ward from the same distance? I feel like sentry radius should be the same. But that might be OP, honestly. Might be too easy to sweep everything. Tower plating removes at 12 instead of 15 minutes. You get 100 less gold. Global gold less from towers. So you get more gold over time, less from taking towers and like objectives, I guess. Gateway spawn faster. They charge up in 1.5 seconds. It's gonna be a lot harder to TP people away from you. You travel faster. It's gonna be easier to gank. It's gonna be harder to like use it as like an outplay to TP people away. You get 50% movement speed after you TP. It's gonna be a lot easier to gank people now. No longer grants vision either. That's actually like that might be insane. What's up, Anthony? Pre 20-minute cooldown decrease. Post. I actually didn't even know that there was a separate cooldown for pre and post 20 minutes. But yeah, this is going to be a lot more relevant, most likely the next patch. You're gonna actually have to word it too, and like pay attention. Although if you have like audio or if you have like voice comms, it'll be a little bit easier. I still wish you could ping the map though. Please let me ping the map so I could just ping it teleport. It'd be so much easier. Melee minions gold. Okay, you get like a lot less gold early game. It's actually gonna be like minions are actually gonna be so irrelevant early game. Holy shit. You get more XP though, which is probably good. It means levels are more impactful. Did you get so much less gold on a wave? What the fuck? Get a queues for your team, bro. You think I'm loading up VC to talk to these individuals? I don't think so. Bro, you get so much less gold. Holy shit. A lot more XP though per wave, but a lot less gold. Actually, you don't get like you just get it more XP from the siege. It's gonna be so hard to get a lead, bro. Super minions having 4,800 HP. Holy shit. Maybe they won't get like insta cleared though on sieges, so you can siege without prime, which might be good. They're gonna be very tanky though. Forest dwelling monster healing increased. Oh, this is hunt. So you get extra healing from hunt. You get extra healing when you're low HP. You get higher burn. Red buff, blue camp. Red buff, blue buff, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initial spawn time decreased to 60 seconds at 85. I assume this means there's leashing in the game now. So you'll be able to leash. XP increased by 25%. Probably a good thing, honestly. Junglers get like the second least farm in the game right now, so probably a good thing. Gonna make it a lot more valuable to like actually invade and shit like that too. Red and blue buff XP increase slightly late game. Additional XP per minute from Cyan decreased. Fang 2 spawns at 4 minutes instead of 5. Not sure that makes a difference. Mini Prime buff duration 120 instead of 150. That's a pretty big nerf. Or Prime move 50% bonus damage. Removed health and mana regen. Added flat power. Pretty sure this is less because you don't. It doesn't benefit your base stats. Minion buff radius. I mean, minions get more damage reduction. I feel like this is overall a nerf. I mean, I guess it depends on what point in the game you get Orb Prime. How are you going to unleash minions sooner to 45 seconds instead of 60? What do you mean? What do you mean, how are you unleashing minions? Minions spawn sooner? Did I miss that? Pretty sure it only said jungle minions. Am I tripping? Camp initial spawn time decreased 85 to 60 seconds. Camps currently spawn at 120. Or sorry, spawn at 125. Minions spawn at 1. If you clear this, you can then get to your wave in time at 120. What do you mean? Those come sooner as well. How you leash buffs for jungler when the minions are in lane. I don't think you. Minion, where did they say minion spawn 25? Did I miss that? Or minion spawn earlier? Where did I miss that? I didn't see that shit. They didn't list it here. Am I tripping? It's regular minions too? Oh, well. My bad then. I don't know why that's not listed though. That's a pretty big change. Because that determines whether or not you're leashing or not. Let's see. Where were we at? Oh, this. I feel like this is like low-key a buff, but also a nerf. Although I guess you can you auto-attack towers from out of range now? Maybe it's not as bad. I don't know. It depends on when you get orb. Losing the regen though makes it way harder to siege. Although siege minions having more HP, maybe you can actually siege. Things like that. I don't know. Well, that's one I'll have to feel. I don't know if I like or dislike that one though. Green buff less HP, gray buff less movement speed, combat movement speed decreased, orange buff omnivamp increased, enhancer respawn at 16 instead of 21. They don't spawn at 16 to begin with; they spawn at 15, so that's like odd. Which means that they're spawning. Are they spawning at 15 minutes or 17? I assume this is supposed to be 15, which is a good change. I've been saying they should make it spawn earlier for a while. Since they added them basically, so they're a little bit more relevant. Drink some water. I actually don't have my water with me. Hold on. I'll have to grab it. I just got coffee. 1 second. Crack the Red Bull. I don't have a Red Bull. I should have got one. Okay, your about changes. Melee magical armor increased. Range magical armor increased. Probably good. Mages are pretty strong, honestly. I don't know if I'm gonna read all the general changes because most characters are getting increased, like armor growth or like base armor, and then like mana and stuff. Like I'm not gonna read all these for every character. I'm gonna be honest. I'll read the actual kit changes though. This is like I'm just not gonna read all these. Most characters are faster, a little bit less tankier, HP and like base, but they have like more regen usually. Most of them. I'm not reading all that shit. I'm gonna be honest. That's like way too much. His passives change. It stacks up to 4 times. Doesn't last as long. Doubles the damage. So you do more damage. It's just not as bad with the 3. You have to actually use your other abilities. Trade trade's basically the same. Yeah, for the most part. You can just read it yourself. How do I think the current set of Pred is? Ask me on Tuesday. Ask me on like Wednesday. Let me play on the patch a little bit. His one's a little faster. You can blink during it. Explosion radius doubled. Projectile radius doubled, so you can hit people in the air. Gravity's decreased, so it's a little floatier. Cooldown stays at 17 seconds. That's pretty big nerf in that regard, but everything else seems to be buffed, more damage. Crystal no longer blocks targeting, including ground targeting. Thank God. Hopefully they do this to fucking non like Argus abilities. They do this to like walls as well. That would be great. Damage is decreased significantly. Scaling is increased a lot. Cooldown goes down when you level it. Mana stays at 90. That kind of sucks. You can now blink with this. This is supposed to say blink. You can blink with this without losing it. So you can like 3, hold it, blink while holding it. Range is decreased. It's the same range as auto attack range almost now. So people will actually be able to like walk out of it and like trade you at max range. Base damage is lowered by a lot. Scaling increased by 50% basically. Cooldown changed to 3 seconds at all ranks. Still hate that you can't cancel this ability, then he has the actual cooldown. Like, I think that's silly. Slowed for 40% instead of 30 is pretty significant. Cost significantly increased. Aurora, again, I'm not going to read all these. Scaling decreased on her passive. She gets double the scaling per level. Not really that big of a difference, honestly. This will probably be pretty similar to how she is now. This doesn't actually matter that much. You go from 1.06% to 1.1% per level. Like, I don't think that makes a big difference. Nobody cares about cost decrease. You can blink with her too, which is good. I wonder if this means you can use it in the air now as well. Hopefully you can use it while like falling and like carry momentum. Root duration decreased, scaling decreased, damage increased, cooldown decreased. If you could jump while casting this, that's great. You can jump. Okay, thank God. That's a huge change then. That's a great quality of life, thank God. Radius increased though, I don't know if I like that. Great quality of life though if you can jump with it. Her 3, you can blink with it. Whatever. Damage increased. Slow decreased. Cooldown decreased. Sure. Blink during her ults. Cooldown decreased significantly. This is a pretty big change. Scaling and whatever is like less relevant, but the cooldown is a pretty big change. Countess. Okay. Countess I'm pretty sure got changed a lot. What's up, Ace? Dealing damage to an enemy with abilities 2 times within 4 seconds applies hemorrhage. Then 8% max health is true damage. 8% max health is true damage. I'm not sure how I feel about that. She also gets 5% movement speed and refunds 25% basic ability cooldowns. Sure, I guess. I mean, I guess. This is fucking insane, I'm not gonna lie. Is this like 25% of her total cooldown or 25% of the current cooldown? Because that also makes a big difference. Summon a shadow at a target. I heard this is like Zed from League, where you like throw it and then you can TP to it, or kind of like Set in Smite. Kind of like his teleport. Does a little bit of damage. Not a lock-on anymore, you have to actually aim it. You can only TP once. Is that correct? You can only TP to it, you can't TP back. Is that correct? Okay. That makes her like a lot more of like a all-in character, which is like kind of good. It's also a long cooldown, which is probably good. No more of that cringe fucking I'm gonna TP into your tower and TP out for free. Like, get the fuck out of my face, bro. That dog shit. Her 2's a projectile. This means you could block it with Steel Wall, which is good. Also, can you block it with Bellica Drone? Because Bellica Drone blocks projectiles, maybe. It does less damage, more scaling, more cooldown. Her 3 does extra damage to monsters. They took that away from her 1, put it to her 3, so she can still jungle. Extra healing from minions. Sorry, extra healing from players. Lower cooldown early game. You're probably maxing this either way now, so it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, base healing is reduced though, but the scaling is increased. Hopefully not as annoying early game. Her ultra suppression instead of a stun. This means that if she hits you, you're guaranteed to be stunned the full duration. She cleanse, applies her passive, no longer heals, deals 50% more damage, and heals equal to all damage dealt when used on targets affected by her passive. So you have to hit people with 2 other abilities before you use this to actually get the full value, which is good. Scaling decreased less. I assume this is max HP scaling. I don't think she has 4% scaling. I think this is 4% max HP at the enemy team scaling, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, though. And then base damage decreased a lot, but this is also increased by 50% when you have your passive, so this is actually like 3.75, so just a little bit less damage than what it is now. See what I mean? A lot of typos. I'm pretty sure most of this is AI, if I'm not mistaken. I remember them saying a long time ago that patch notes were written by AI now, and then just like skimmed. PhD Super Meds. Yeah, Super Meds, you're so smart, bro. Why don't you write the patch notes, buddy? Mr. Smarty Pants, man. Let's see. Power scaling on crunches. 135%. Holy shit. His base damage is a lot lower though, so you actually have to build power, but you do build power anyways. I wonder if this will actually be different or not. Power base damage changed from same as non-empowered. Okay, so I assume this means it does more damage when it's empowered compared to right now where it does the same amount, which is good. It also has extra scaling, which is good because it's like you should be rewarded for using your enhanced ability. Like your enhanced ability should have enhanced stats, so that's good. You can blink during his 2. Could you like blink and get ready to knock somebody up like mid animation, which is good. Launches crunch 30 units up if he's already in the air. Okay, so you have to be in the air already. I wonder if that actually makes any difference in any like area on the map. Like, does that let you get on any ledges? Perhaps, maybe you can jump up in a mid lane with this or something. I'm not sure how valuable this actually is, but interesting. You're knocked up slightly higher now. Gravity is like stronger though, I believe, on this patch. I think I read that earlier, so like maybe this is actually the same amount of duration, so it's probably not a big difference. Less damage, significantly more scaling, slow increased early game. You might be able to just run somebody down early game, but I guess you have stronger auto attack penalties, so maybe it's not a difference. Still lasts longer. The stun lasts longer when it's empowered, which is a knockup. Cooldown increased early game. That's a good change. Cost decreased. Not a fan of that. Knock Skyler out of the air. Maybe. That's interesting. Typos would be no AI. I don't think that's how that works. Because it's generated based off the coding in the game. Not like... So, like, sometimes things are written the way that it's written in the code. It not, like, transition to how it would be written in a patch notes. That's why some numbers are, like, buffs, but they look like nerfs, for example. Because it's, like, written the way it is in the code. If I'm not mistaken. Animation cancel or miss decrease from... Wait, I don't even... Just mean you can't get it canceled as much. No longer blocks jumping for additional time. Okay, so you can jump immediately after using it. You can blink during it. Interesting. Base dash decreased by 30%. That's huge. Damage decreased. Power scaling decreased. I wish they would remove the mini stun off of it. Honestly, I'm so fucking tired of getting mini stun by this ability. It's so cringe. More healing from the ultimate based off your power. Decker now updates target upon the beam spawning. This is good. I've been asking for this for a while. It's so annoying how the beam doesn't match up to the animation of your character. Hopefully this makes it feel a lot more responsive, similar to like Ron's might. Stasis bomb is slower. Has slightly less gravity. Not sure what overlap decreased means. to be honest with you. Less damage early game, more damage late game. Minimum stun is higher, so if they're up close, you're going to stun for slightly longer. If they're max range, you're going to stun longer early game, but late game it'll be the same. Significantly lower cooldown. Not a fan of that. Kind of cringe. I hate that that's 14 second space. Makes your mid lane a lot better. Overlap his hitbox. Oh, okay. So it's a little bit harder to hit. Good.
What up, Soul Reaper? You
Yo, Creed, thank you for the raid, man.
Caked up fat.
You have to be until ranked open to read all this. I mean, it's a long patch notes. We already do it.
You know what I mean?
Creed, thank you for the raid, though. I appreciate it. I hope you had a good stream. Decker cooldown reduced. Stun is increased. Cringe. Not a fan of that. Gonna get CC chained. Not fun. Can't cleanse jungle passive. I don't like that. Now applies an extra tick, which is good. Kind of should have did that to begin with. David, thank you for the follow. Currently analyzing the data. True. David, thank you for the prime, man. I appreciate it.
The only losses are the ones that you don't that like are realized. You know what I mean?
Okay, grenade spins in the air. You can blink proxy it. It's a little bit slower. Radius increased. Silence volume changed to silence on impact. Okay, so it's not a fucking 5-second silence. You have to actually hit somebody with it. Thank God. Thank God, bro. Holy fuck, they made the ability 10 times better. Thank God. What's up, Jedi? Welcome. Thank God, bro. Hello, Tornado. You're late. You're actually not that late, honestly. Applies as passive early, like more often. I assume the damage is the same or applies the same way. Damage decreased by a lot, but it applies as passive more, so I don't know if that'll be a difference. Lower cooldown. Drug is still gonna be the most OP carry. I mean, he still has CC, so that makes a big difference, but gonna be less oppressive, especially late game. He'll be less of a counter pick against characters like Crunch as well, which will be interesting. Can't cleanse rad rounds though. Maybe Survivor will finally win a 1v1 on Drongo. Well, Drongo never wins 1v1s because you just cleanse rad rounds. My name's Survivor. Yeah, well, you can't use that excuse anymore. You get an extra passive stack every time. Every additional stack gives you an extra passive stack, which is interesting. It means you can get a lot of extra base damage on your passive. Scaling increased a lot. Base damage lowered. In general, last 50% longer, so you could actually get way more autos. This could be pretty nuts. This also means it'll pop later, so like it might be harder to play against. Like, or you might die in the time between when it goes off, because I assume this means the explosion also goes off 1.5 seconds later, so that could be interesting. Drongo buffs, they're like buffs, but also nerfs. You're still an ad, just true. Hold on, I gotta ask a question in the Creator Guild real quick. If my Discord were open. Bro, what is up with my PC today? It's like shit like won't open or close on my PC. It's kind of annoying. Okay. Hopefully I get an answer to that quickly. Bro, I literally can't open my OBS apparently. My computer's being so slow today. I don't know why. Why are subs $8 a mobile? It's a good question. Did I verify? I'm back. What? Is this 1.4? Yes. Excited to play solo again. Portal buffs looking nice. Yeah, the buffs for the portal look good. Alright, hey, so I'm going to ask you to check the creator Discord. Am I able to say yes or no to the question I just asked? Just quick curiosity. I don't want people to feel scammed. You didn't hear the question? I asked it in the creator Discord because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it or not. You could blink during the 3. Less scaling, more slow. Less base damage. Smaller hitbox. Cast on the ground, trap no longer pushes Drongo backwards. Okay, so you can't... So if you're looking down, it doesn't push you back, but if you're looking like forward, it does. That's interesting. Extra armor shred, less scaling, less damage. It's not a leak, bro. Fang Meow. We already kind of know that Fang Meow changes. Getting a takedown gives you % power. You get 1 stack per each unique hero on the enemy team. So you gotta try to kill each person on the enemy team once. Special shield instead of a shield. Flat movement speed. Flat power. That's gonna be really strong. Double stats when you actually block something. a buff to Assassin Feng Mao and nerf to Tank Feng Mao, but I don't know if that'll be stronger or worse than what he has currently. I think this is going to be a lot stronger, but other people think he might be worse. Will you see me play Frag Punk in the future? Perhaps. I know Gags wanted to try it. I haven't played it, though. Did I get OBS up? Yeah, I'm able to read chat. I don't know, for some of my computer's just being really slow. I think it's because I have Chrome open, and it's just fucking probably Giga fucking my RAM. His 2 does damage over 2 instances instead of 1 instant, so you can perhaps react to it a little bit better. Damage is slightly lower, but this hits twice, so the number is really deceptive. This also hits twice, so the number is really deceptive. This is actually, what is it, 56% scaling, and then this is like 70 to 130, so it's a little bit deceptive. And then if you hit one person by themselves, you get a lot more bonus damage as well. So like picking targets off by themselves will be really beneficial. Dash resets on takedown, not a fan of that. His old passive gets moved to his dash. Every time you hit somebody, 8% max HP with your dash. Cringe! This I'm not a fan of. I think this is like way too much, especially with it resetting. This is just like way too much in my opinion. 8% max HP is crazy. Or sorry, 8% at current is crazy. Max or current don't make a difference. Base damage decreased a lot though, so maybe it balances out. Scaling increased. Cooldown increased early game, decreased late game. So you have to like mid late game it'll be better, early game it'll be worse. Frag Punk, not Frost Punk. Frag Punk is kind of like a Valorant style game. What the sub you had on the wheel? Let me take a look. Free sub list. You do have one left. Give me a minute though, because it might make a difference. Can blink while casting it. This is what it's supposed to say. You can blink while casting it. Can use it on normal cast or quick cast if you want to now. It goes on cooldown on cast instead of when dealing damage, which means you can cancel it. Thank God. Slightly thinner. Gonna be a little bit harder to hit. Oh yeah, I know. I saw the question. Okay. Scaling decreased a lot, thank God. I still wish they would make it so that you could see if you're in execute range as the person playing against Feng Mao. It's so cringe that you can't, and then he can. Either make it so neither of them can, or make it so both of them can. It's very cringe that it's very one-sided like that. It's very cringe to play against. I fucking hate that. Just base stat changes. Shock absorber passive. Okay. Gadget acquires stacks. They grant 1 magical power per 5 stacks. Killing enemy minions grant 1 stack. Damaging enemy heroes with abilities grants 3 stacks. Once per activation, takedowns grant 20 stacks. Okay. This is like actually insane. You're going to get so much fucking power on this character. It's not even funny. You could probably build her full tank and have more power than like a fucking mage. Honestly, like a regular full damage character. This character is going to be absolutely insane on the next patch. Probably the best character in the game. This passive is not okay. Especially with it without it having a cap, like this passive is actually not okay. This is actually an insane passive. I don't know who thought this was good in the state that it is, but effectively if you hit the wave and then the enemy person once with an ability, you get 2 power every single wave. This is actually insane. And if you get an assist or a takedown, 4 permanent power. This is actually like Giga broken. Like, that is actually insane. Sticky mine, smaller radius for attachment, so it's a little bit harder to hit people. The overlap radius increased. So the hitbox is higher, but the radius is less. So, like, is it harder to hit? I'm confused. I don't know if this is harder to hit or not, but the explosion is increased. So the explosion radius is the same. I assume it's harder to hit, but the explosion radius is, like, the same. So like permanent sub stacks, very similar, yeah. Every hero is OP. I mean, I don't think every hero is OP. I think this is actually just like, this is like not balanced in any capacity. Some characters are like stronger, but like definitely nothing as OP as this. Like this is like by far the most OP thing that I've seen in the patch. Well, you stop say attaching after people dodge it. Okay, good. Because that shit was cringe as fuck. Where they'd like miss it and then it would bounce to you like 45 feet away. That shit was annoying as shit. Good. When you hit somebody that has a sticky mine with an auto attack, it empowers the mine to deal 110 to 270, 90% scaling magical damage instead of 90 to 230. So if you auto attack them, it does a lot more. I assume the scaling's the same. I don't even know what the scaling is. I think it's like 80% right now or something. So it'll just do a lot more if you hit an auto on somebody. So taking like an actual trade is good. Although losing the shield passive is kind of a nerf in a way, because you won't be able to be as cringe in lane. Actually be able to be poked out, which is good. But yeah, extra damage if you auto attack somebody with a mine. The gate, you can basically roll it forward and it travels forward. Extra width, height decrease, so you can jump over it a little bit easier, especially with the higher jump. No longer destroys upon dealing damage. I believe it stops when it hits somebody. Is that correct? It stops on first target hit. Like it doesn't continue forward, or am I incorrect on that? Deals damage to minions and monsters, which is good. Means you can clear camps and waves and stuff. Decay movement speed refreshes when you pass through it again. Kind of hard because it moves forward, so like, good luck. You get way more movement speed though. Movement speed doesn't last as long. Damage is decreased a lot. Scaling decreased a lot. Root increased though. It'll go through people. Oh, I thought I saw a clip of it where it stopped on first target. Maybe it was just max range. It would be nice if it stopped on first enemy target though. Like first enemy hero, I should say. Gadget 3 has slow tracking to the closest enemy. Damage is decreased a lot. Scaling is decreased. Slow is increased slightly. Cooldown decreased. Ult radius. The base radius is lower, but it increases 60% over 2 seconds. I believe the max on this is about 800, so it's like slightly larger when it's full, but it's worse when you first place it. Slow is increased slightly. Pretty sure this is like a nerf mostly, because it's harder to get that initial cast, which is kind of where it's like the best, but it's a little bit better in the, like, it's worse, but it's also better at the same time. But I'm pretty sure the max radius is about 800, so it's actually not too big of a range decrease overall. But like for the majority of the ultimate, it's like slightly smaller. Soulbinder, but I go hard on gadget. True. Gideon, again, not going to read all the base stat changes. There's just too much. Range decrease on his passive. Kind of don't like that, especially with the auto attack increase range in general. It's going to be a lot harder. No longer slows. Reach the target at the end for a second. We already knew this. Duration only lasts 2 seconds. The damage is increased a lot. The scaling is decreased a lot. Yeah, it's going to be hard to do, especially since you have to use an ability to begin with. So, like, you have to use an ability, apply the slow, hold them within range for 2 seconds, and then use your second ability. Gonna be really awkward to use. I don't think it's actually gonna be very good. I can't imagine this is like an insane ability. In most matchups, I just don't see you getting a lot of value, especially if people are boxing you at 1500 range instead of 1600. I just don't see this being like insanely OP. I just don't see it being like that crazy. I can't imagine it's like terrible, but I don't think it's that crazy. Mainly due to the fact that you have to hit an ability first. Does mean you can root somebody in your ult though if you like, mainly for running the side lane. Kind of OP for that. How is this OP for running the side lane? I mean, I guess you get like a root maybe. I just feel like the only time you like ever use this is like you combo somebody, then you hit it, and then you try to portal in an ult, and then they get rooted in your ult. That's the only thing I can think of for like this being like incredibly strong. And they can't like dash out of your ult because they're rooted. But like I don't think this is like that crazy. Like, I feel like if you're slowing somebody, it's just as good as, like, the root in terms of, like, ganking a side lane. But I don't know. I don't think it makes that big of a difference. Because it's also easier to break now. So, like, I don't know. I just don't think the passive is that great. Now hit targets it passes through. So you can hit, like, howitzer and ult, which is good. Hitbox tightened up. Thank God, bro. Do that to every ability. Please. I'm so tired of getting hit by abilities I'm not in, bro. Please. Range increased significantly. Okay. I mean, shit. Shit. Okay. Scaling increased, base damage lowered, better late game, worse early game. That's what that means. Cost decreased early game, cooldown decreased a lot early game. You probably max this first now, like you probably get a level 1. His 2 doesn't go as far. I believe somebody told me that you can't, like, enemies can't take your portal now, I believe. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if anybody can confirm that. I heard somebody say you can't take enemy game portals now. Yes. I kind of dislike that change a lot, I'm going to be honest. Personal opinion. I do think that should be written in patch notes, though, because that's a really big change. I just remember seeing somebody say that. Yeah. Also, somebody said you can carry momentum slightly through Gideon Portal as well. So, like, you have, like, a mini super jump now. Not as good as it used to be, but, like, better than what it is now. I don't know if that's true or not as well. But yeah, Gideon going to be a lot harder to kill now. That's for sure. You can blink proxy to the 3. Range slightly increased, explosion radius increased, so it'll be easier to hit. Damage decreased, scaling increased slightly, slow decreased, slow duration increased. That's probably the biggest thing in this like section. Cooldown decreased slightly, not a big difference. Mana cost increased. You can't cleanse Gideon ult. Can't blink with it at least. Not surprising there though. Not being cleansed is probably a good thing, honestly. Force you to actually have like a mobility tool, like pacifier. Radius decreased a lot. It'll be harder to get big ults, but you can get like it pulls stronger. So like the ults that you do get, it will be a little bit more relevant. Maybe he can act 2.75 seconds after casting Black Hole. I believe right now it's like 3.25 or something. So you can like use your abilities as you're falling more actively. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Damage increased significantly. I assume that's to balance out the smaller radius. If you are stuck in this, you're gonna fucking die. Smaller radius is probably a good thing though. This also means, I assume this means it's easier to miss as well because it's a sphere, so you can definitely go way too high a lot more easily. So probably a good thing, honestly. I still kind of wish it was a cylinder and just like overprime, but not bad. So definitely a step in the right direction. Pull strength might be countered by movement speed increases. No. That's a good point, actually, but probably not because the movement speed increases like what are these increases? They're like 5%, maybe. Like this isn't even 5%. It's like what, 3%? I don't think that's a lot. Also, if you're trying to like auto the Gideon, I think it's just the fact that it's like a smaller radius. God, they buffed his ult and the weight always seems to do little damage. What? Brother, Gideon ult will one-shot you right now. Also, a lot of characters are getting like less HP in general in this patch. Like, a lot of characters are getting health decreases, so like you might actually just literally one-shot somebody with it. Greystone passive. He still gets the deflection, but he no longer gets free power. Extra max. He gets literally just what is it? Rainment passive permanently. So he gets max health regen every second, and then gains physical armor per level. Values are increased based on his missing HP, and the healing is doubled when under 50%. This is kind of insane. Gonna be probably the hardest solo laner to push out of lane. Definitely a little Mickey Mouse. W overall so far, some good, some bad. It's really hard to say if the patch is a W or like an L. The things that I really dislike are like extra XP from people with a lead, things like that, and then extra gold for like missing last hits. Those are the two things that like those are definitely L's. I can just tell you that like just looking at it as an L. Other stuff like a lot of the changes and stuff, I just think just need like actual tweaking in terms of balance. But in terms of like whether or not they're bad changes, I can't say yes or no. I think they just need balance changes. Yeah, this passive is insane. I'm not gonna lie. Gonna be very hard to poke out of lane. At least this is like not that bad because it's not scaling, so it's just like 0.2. It doesn't scale with levels or anything to like 2% max HP or something. What hero is this? This is Greystone. This is great. Greystone just has like rainment passive. I guess the values are increased like per missing HP, so like I don't know. You're at 50% and then it's doubled, so this goes like 0.4, and then you're getting 50% extra, so you're getting like 0.6% max health regen a second. That's pretty insane. No longer extends the duration as 1, but it does prot shred, I believe. Yeah, up to 32%, which is actually a lot. Prot shred is really crazy. Greystone level 2. All right, guys, only leveled the... I didn't realize Greystone was doing 130,000 damage, level 2. significant. I didn't realize he was so broken right now, bro. Why are people maxing it, bro? Just get 2 points in it. Anyways, less damage early game, more damage late game, more scaling, armor shred. Doesn't last as long though, so like technically it's probably roughly the same damage overall if you were to get the full duration previously. Armor shred is really good, helps you do objectives faster, helps your team do more damage, which is actually really strong. That one actually wasn't a typo. This is true. His 2 increases the attack range. That's interesting. Only get 1 hit though. Kind of dislike that. I wonder if it's. I assume it's still an auto attack cancel though, which is nice. The extra range is interesting. 100% cleave. Ooh. Okay, so you like insta clear waves. Okay, so this is how you're gonna play Greystone now. You're gonna proc your 1. You're gonna walk into the wave. You're gonna auto the enemy to group the wave. You're gonna proc your 2. 100% cleave the wave and then insta clear, and then you're just gonna beat the enemy soul laner's ass. That's how this is gonna work. Can Doc passive hit tower? Currently, yes. But like, if you have no minions in the tower, then you don't have the tower has the backdoor protection, so you don't really do any damage. Strength 24/7 this one. I don't believe so. I didn't see anything for that unless it's at the bottom. He gets 2% health scaling, less base damage. Were these per hit? This was per hit, right? So like, you're doing less damage per hit, but you're actually getting like health scaling, which is nice, and then physical power scaling changed to bonus, so less scaling but more HP scaling. So like, you're better with tank, less good as bruiser, slow is increased, but you only get 1 hit, so you're not like stacking the slow, so like kind of a nerf. You're gonna be a lot harder to walk people down. Gonna be more of like a jump, like auto cancel, like with your 1 and then like walk out type character, regen, and then do it again when your cooldowns are up. Maximum leap duration decreased, so you jump faster. Or sorry, minimum leap duration decreased, so you jump faster. Maximum decreased as well, you jump faster. Radius increased, so it's easier to get that like cooldown reduction when you hit somebody. Range increased to auto attack range. So if you're getting auto attacked, you're in range to jump on somebody. Grants 30% decaying movement speed. Okay, so when you hit somebody, you not only get cooldown reduction on your leap, you get movement speed as well. Interesting. Gonna be kind of hard to hit in like lockdown. Who's broken so far? I can tell you Gadget 100% without a doubt is broken. His ult could be cast in the air. I was pretty sure you could do this anyways, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't play Greystone like that recently. His ult no longer body blocks people. Not really. I think that's kind of lame. Removes anti-heal before healing. Why though? That's like so you get punished for building the counter to him? What? Auto attack range is 1600. It's 1500. Wait, why does it remove the anti-heal though? Like, you get less base healing, but you're not getting anti-healed, so it's actually like more healing overall. Then you're getting healing from his passive. I don't like this change. This is like why. You actually just can't counter build him now, which is very silly. And the cooldown's reduced, which is like whatever. Damage scaling increased from 100 to 200%. Okay, so it's gonna do a lot more fucking damage too. Yeah, I don't like this change. I don't like the removes anti-heal change. Like, why? You just gotta hear over everything again. Yeah, watch the VOD, buddy. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the anti-heal change. The portals are gonna be OP. Oh yeah, the portals will be strong. You'll actually have to pay attention to them. If I read Countess yet? Oh, I did. Honestly, not as OP as people were making her sound. I'm gonna be honest. You just have to reapply anti-heal? Well, you can't. Brother, he's stasis. You can't hit him in his ult. What are you talking about? You can't apply anti-heal to him because he's fucking stasis. You bot. That was a bot comment, Cordit. I wish it was that easy. Okay, actual relevant general change. Grim, less auto attack range than other ADCs. That's important. Slightly. He stays on this current auto attack range. Other ADCs will outrange him. No longer can get a free auto cancel off the 1 because you get blocked out of auto attacking immediately. Projectile speed decrease, so it's a little bit easier to dodge. Gravity decrease, so it's a little bit more floaty. Hitbox is significantly decreased. if I understand this correctly. Explosion radius increased. So while it's harder to hit the projectile, it's easier to hit the explosion when you have your 2 active, I believe, is what this part is. Lol, I get it now. Yeah, gonna be a lot harder now, right? Grim weird throwing auto distance seems weird. Well, they're increasing everybody else, they're lowering his. It's a balancing factor, which I think is actually a good thing, honestly. I think that's like a good change. Kind of like how Yin has like slightly lower auto attack range than like the current auto attack range. Like I believe she has like 700 or something. Melees are like 500, and then ADCs have like 1300 currently on the current patch. It's good to have different ranges because it's just a lever of balance, which is good actually. I actually think it adds more uniqueness to characters in terms of where they're played and how you have to position in fights, which is good. Damage scaling increased, base damage lowered, cooldown 12 seconds at all ranks. This is a big nerf to Mage Grim. Mana cost decreased. Honestly, probably a good thing. Grim gets attack speed for landing attacks while in his 2, stacking up to 4 times. What's the math on that? 72% attack speed late game when this is maxed. That's kind of insane. Quick math. I know for a fact Supermeds couldn't do that because that guy can't do math for sure. That's insane. Slow is 10% at all ranks instead of scaling to 20%, which is probably good. You get cleave on your auto attacks? What the fuck? Forget the 1, brother. You're just going to max the 2. What the hell? I wonder if this attack speed works on minions and shit too. If it does, Grim Jungle, hello. What's good with it though? If this works on jungle minions and shit, what's good with the Grim Jungle though, baby? Plus you cleave auto, so like you can actually clear camps and shit. What's good with it though? Mana cost increased to 30 per auto attack. It increases your attack range to the normal attack range, which is interesting. A little bit of like mechanical gameplay there. Scaling decreased. Mana regen is like set to 8 at all ranks. So like every 3 auto attacks you get 1 enhanced auto attack basically. He'll be interesting. I think honestly you could probably play jungle next patch. I don't know how his lane will be, but this ability seems really bloated. As long as you have the mana cost to actually be able to spam this shit in team fights. Shield duration lasts longer, so you can more easily dodge abilities or like preemptively dodge abilities. Cooldown significantly increased. Cooldown in his ult 90% or 90 seconds all ranks. The damage is increased significantly. Yeah, Grim seems like he might be really strong, but we'll see. Grim Mind Razor, GG. I mean, I guess if you did have a cleave, this would be 130% cleave, which actually means you would hit harder on the target that you're not hitting directly, which would be interesting. Ranges to get regen from camps, though. Yeah, but you don't need regen from camps when you have 100% cleave. Because you could just, like, clear once and then get, like, tier 2 Sky Splitter, and then you, like, heal off camps, basically. And you get mana regen in jungle, so, like, the mana cost might not be as big of a problem either. But then again, the cleave isn't that much early game, so maybe you can't play him jungle. But still gonna have to try it, you know. Grux passive no longer has Omnivamp. We already kind of know the Grux changes. They went over them in the dev stream. Base damage on the stacks changed. They scale faster, so they're a little bit better late game, but they're a little bit worse early game. Probably good. Smart cast by default. Nobody cares. I don't play smart cast anyways. Insta cast everything. Insta cast on top, baby. It's a channel. It's a slightly thinner cone, so it's easier to dodge, but it's a channel. The fact that it's a channel means it's easier to also cancel because you can see it coming. It's easier to dodge because you can see it coming. Damage decrease, scaling increase. You are stunned for a longer duration, but that's like kind of irrelevant. Cooldown increased significantly early game. Cost decreased a lot. Maybe you level this over the 2 now, but probably not because the cooldown on the 2 is still really strong. But I'll have to play Grux a little bit and see whether or not you max the 1 or not before the 2 now. Grux 2 does damage to targets it passes through. So the longer you like try to 2 the wave, then you go through the wave and don't hit anybody and do any damage. That shit was annoying. Does not collide upon heroes, but instead stop shortly after damaging them. Okay, so if somebody's right next to you, you will not stop. So you can't get body blocked out of here 2 anymore. Knockup height decreased. Also with the higher gravity means you probably won't be knocked up very long. It doesn't stun, but still knocks upward. Okay, so it's not a stun, which is interesting. Range increased by 40%, so it's like an actual dash now. Scaling increased a lot. Cooldown increased late game by 1 second. Cost decreased, good. You can blink during the 3, restores 3 to 5% max health plus 18% missing health when damaging it. Bro, what? wait. What? Base damage removed. It also has no base damage? Wait, what? Portal change seems fun and interactive. Yeah, but the portal change will be interesting. I just wish you could ping the map, honestly. Portals will be way more relevant, though. Although portals right now kind of sucks, so, like, it's probably a good thing, because a big problem with portals is that, like, they're too slow to, like, actually be able to gank somebody, and then, like, what was it? They're too slow to gank somebody, and then, it, like, reveals you. They made it faster, and it doesn't reveal you, so, like, they'll actually be relevant for ganks. How do you ping minimap? Well, you can't. I'm just saying, like, I wish they would add that, so I could just ping the portal. It would be way easier. Just space the auto attack. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of insane. Okay, you get, like, an insane amount of healing, but you do no fucking damage. I'm not sure. How does it... So it just has scaling damage? Am I understanding that? Does it still apply auto attacks twice, or, like, on hits twice and shit like that? I assume it does. I don't like 18% missing HP is gonna be crazy sustained though. And it procs on monsters, so like you could heal an insane amount off like Cyan buff in solo lane. Like you take a really shitty trade and then you just go right click Cyan buff for 20% max HP. And add map to tab. They just need to add it to like if you hold alt, like remove the fucking alt look. Nobody fucking likes that shit. Nobody uses it anyways. Remove the alt look. Just if you're holding alt, you have a free cursor, you can ping the fucking map. It's pretty fucking simple, man. Like, I don't know. Just do it like Smite does it. It's so fast and easy. IMO. His ult no longer steals as much power. It's a little bit more consistent. Attack speed increased 40 to 100. 100% attack speed is crazy. You can blink during the ult, though. Cooldown decreased. Sorry, cooldown increased. Levels 2 and 3. Not a crazy change. Does mean he'll have to actually like land more autos to get as much power steal though, so he'll be a little bit more consistent in terms of trading. Gonna be out healing Kai with that. I mean, this is like a lot of healing. It is. Okay, Howitzer. Remember before you could click ult and ping map that way, or I'm misremembering. That was Smite. I know like OP, and I think I don't know about original Paragon, but I know in OP you could press tab and just ping the map that way. But I think that kind of tab isn't like that kind of ping is annoying because it takes up the whole screen, which is really lame. I think that's silly. In Smite, it's like you can ping the map without fucking blocking your whole screen, which is way better in my opinion. Or add the option to do both. Okay, Howitzer. Base changes, not going to read all those. Didn't see any auto attack change or anything. His passive, less damage, more scaling. Gets more mana regen though. Kind of not a fan of that, but it does mean you could maybe go like flat pen build or something, or like, you know, non-mana item early. Blink proxy on the 1. That means you can hover in the air with it, blink with it, still hover in the air, I assume, which is kind of funny. Just like in a different spot, that'll be kind of funny. Explosion radius increased. Hitbox is smaller, range increased slightly, not a big increase. Projectile speed decreased, so it's easier to dodge, thank God. Scaling increased slightly, base damage decreased, but if you hit somebody directly with it, it does more damage, which is a little bit more of a skill check, which is good. I actually like this change a lot. I think this makes him, it'll make him feel more rewarding to play, which I think is really nice. And it'll make it a little bit more skillful instead of just like cringe. So you can also fully customize the HUD, correct. Smite has like a lot of quality of life, but we're not talking about Smite right now. I just wish you could ping the map like Smite, that's all. Moving the HUD around and shit, I don't really give a fuck about that. Moving the mini-map to where you want, though, I think is good. Or, like, changing the opacity and stuff like that. I would like that. Can I read faster or trying to get some lunch? Anthony, shut up, bro. Just go grab some lunch and listen while you're eating. Little bot. We're only on H, brother. We got, like, 20 more heroes to go. This shit's a long-ass fucking... This is gonna be, like, a fucking 2-hour fucking patch notes review, bro. Ranked is literally gonna be up. And I got on early today, bro. All right. Decreased knockback distance on the mine. That's probably good. Gravity decreased, so it's a little bit more floaty. You can throw it further. Base damage decreased. Cooldown decreased. I don't level this shit anyways. Cost decreased. Actually, pretty significant change. especially if you don't level it. I don't, so like the benefits me a lot more because I just build cooldown like a fucking goat, not a little bot building flat pen. Collision on the mines is increased. Initial damage decreased. Sorry, it decreased early game, increased significantly late game. Way more scaling as well. Additional damage. Okay, you're definitely leveling the 3-second. This ability is gonna fucking slam. Cost is way higher though, but this shit's gonna fucking slam, bro. You get hit by like 2 mines, bro, you're getting fucking cooked. Holy shit. Decrease the duration on howitzer ult. Fires 3 barrages of 8 over 0.5 seconds. With 0.5 second gaps. Each barrage instead of 16 across 1.6 seconds. It's interesting. Projectile speed increase, so they're gonna like basically guaranteed hit somebody. Explosion radius decrease, so it's harder to hit multiple people. You move slower while flying, so easier to get hit in the air. Damage per missile decreased. Total base damage increased slightly if you hit all of the missiles. Scaling per missile increased from 96 to 200. Bro, they increased the scaling by 100%. Holy fuck. That's insane. I wonder if it's harder to hit now or something. It'll be easier to walk away from him though, because he's slowed. So like, that'll be interesting. The scaling increase is crazy. You're reading all that? I'm happy or sorry that happened. Hey man, I mean, you can just listen, brother. I got you with the audiobook. Damaging heroes with Iggy passive now grants attack speed to turrets. Okay. Can't cleanse his passive. Cringe. Scaling increased. Has a indicator of the turret range, which is good. Objective overlap radius decreased. I'm not really sure what the objective they're talking about is, honestly. Iggy's gonna be stupid. I mean, 50% attack speed on all turrets is crazy. Just reading your passive. What's up, at Prex? How are we doing? We're vibing, dude. We're vibing. Just eating some coffee, drinking some coffee, and doing this. Iggy's gonna be cancerous now. Yeah, I mean, 50% attack speed is pretty cringe. This is a 50% attack speed is a 50% damage increase. Did you miss it, brother? We're on Iggy, bro. You think we're in the S's already? You fucking thought, buddy. Bug fix on the 2, not like hitting because of terrain. Thank God. That's actually like super nice quality of life. Less damage, more scaling. Higher slow, not a fan of higher slow. Cooldown decrease, not a fan. Mana cost decrease, not a fan. Mana cost decrease. Sorry, I've like skipped over the turrets. Or like part of the turrets. Turrets range increased. Why though? Like why? Base damage decreased slightly. Scaling increased though, so it's actually doing more damage. It's tankier, brother. Why? Why? Increased HP scale. Why are they so much tankier, brother? What the fuck? They have more protection. Why, brother? Why? Why? Where's your gifted? You're getting farmed right now. Hold on, Mercy. Let me open Discord real quick. Why are they making the turret so tanky? I think I gotta answer my question. Hold on. Look, the only losses are the ones that you don't realize. You know what I mean? Yeah, Noob, thank you for the gifted sub, bro. I appreciate it. She responded. I didn't see that she responded. Okay, one actual goat. Dude, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it, Hunter. Thank you so much. VIP wheel. I got you, Rice. Let me fucking finish the patch notes. I got you after though. Okay, Iggy turrets way tankier. Fucking doing way more damage. Range increase, way more attack speed. What the fuck, bro? Iggy might be as broken as Gadget, man. It's about to be a Gadget Iggy meta, bro. How fucking boring is this meta gonna be, brother? Holy shit. How boring is this meta gonna be, man? Can I wait like 30 seconds? I'll 50% on his ult? Brother, what? Does that stack? Does that stack? Nobody cares about the Molotov. Is there a range increase on this? Kind of, because it's floatier, less gravity, so kind of an increase, and it's radius increase. Bro, why? Why though? 50% extra scaling too. Why though? Bro, it's actually gonna be Iggy Gadget. They don't stack? Is that what you're saying? They don't stack? I might as well get Twitch Turbo. True. Turbo kicks ass, honestly. Just if you basic attack the hero. Yeah, so if you like hit a hero and then you ult that hero, Your turrets get 100%? Is that not how that works? Oh, it just, okay, so it's 50%, like, so it's either 50% from your ult or from your passive. It doesn't stack. Okay, good. I think it's still, like, kind of cringe, but at least it's not 100%. It's not as bad as I thought it was. It's still going to probably be Iggy Gadget meta, though, which is kind of cringe. Unless some of the other mids got, like, Giga buffed. Kalori. Extra damage on her regular auto attack. Interesting. Deathmark is her passive now. She still has a double jump, 6-second cooldown. Deathmark reveals them, which means I assume it reveals like Wraith Invis and stuff. Does 8 plus 3% per 100% bonus physical power of their missing HP. So that's an interesting way to do it. True damage, 12-second cooldown. It's per target, so you can hit everybody and apply Deathmark. Okay, only one target may be affected. Okay. Weird that there's a cooldown on this then, to be honest. But I guess it's like, if you mark somebody and then it explodes, you have like an 8-second window to hit somebody else. Just an interesting way to have that in the game. What's up, Ritter? How you doing today? Sorry, unless if you missed if Frank's 24/7 or not. I haven't seen anything like that yet, no. Yo, Destor, thank you for the Prime, man. I appreciate it. Welcome back to the Birdnest, dude. Appreciate the resub.
That, like, or you realize,
Finally
you know what I mean?
back and able to watch a live stream instead of just the amazing YouTube content. You may give this game another chance at loving it again.
Hey, man, I'm glad you're loving it again, dude. Welcome back to the game. We'll go back to the Birdnest as well. Thank you for the resub, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Health regen on Clary 1 removed. Damage on the next base attack removed. You get more movement speed, but it decays over time. Cooldown set to 6 seconds at all ranks. Clary gains health regen when not visible to the enemy team. So just like walking in the jungle, you get health regen? What the fuck? That's insane. Just passive health regen? Alright. She might not get shit on by camps anymore. Kind of looks boring. I mean, I wonder if you can still auto-cancel with it and shit. I mean, this is like, the damage on the next basic attack being removed is kind of a lot. I kind of dislike this change. I kind of feel like her 1 was fine. I think, like, Timmy's just don't know how to use it correctly. Her 2, she backflips into the skies for duration. She may target an enemy and dash towards them, dealing damage. Double if they're affected by a deathmark, doubled. So she gets 180% scaling. That's kind of a lot. I don't know. I'm not a bit, from what this ability looked like, I'm not a big fan of it, but we'll see. Current kit better. From what I saw, I would more or less agree with you, North. I would agree for the most part. I think if they wanted to move Deathmark to the passive and give her a different ability, that's fine, but like I don't like the current, like I don't like the thing that they gave her, honestly. Like a lock-on dash is like kind of cringe. I wish they would give her like a different ability. Not a fan really of the Clary changes, honestly. So far anyways. You can blink with the 3, can't throw them as often, monster damage increased, scaling decreased, slow decreased, slow duration increased, cooldown decreased early game, increased late game. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not really a huge fan. Deals bonus damage on Clary up to missing HP. Way less base damage. Scaling way less. Cooldown decreased slightly. Yeah, I mean, they like criminalized her damage, actually. You basically have to use your 2 for damage now, like in your combo. I don't know if you do like remotely as much damage now. Good nerf Clary. I mean, I feel like it's not really like a quality of life buff, other than the fact that you get passive regen instead of like regen when you're invis. But I actually think this is like kind of a criminal nerf to her, actually. They like changed her kit and she's like nerfed. Seems boring. It's not really a matter of boredom. I just think like, I think Clary's current kit is good, similar to how I thought Feng Mao's kit was good. All has to be used last as well now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't really like ult in first now, which means you have to like full combo somebody then ult out. Like, you like use your 2 to get in, and then you like combo with your 3 and your passive, and then you like ult after, which is weird. Also, the Deathmark, I assume, doesn't increase your damage by 10% anymore. Yeah, so you don't get that 10% damage increase either. Yeah, I feel like she's going to be way harder to play and way less enjoyable to play, honestly. New patch, cabbage patch, sour patch, eye patch don't matter. Leftovers in 3. Yeah, okay, buddy. Bruce, the only thing that's going to be left over is you when Jay kicks you again for the 7th time. And then you come crawling back, baby. Is this max health regen? Hold on. No, okay. I was gonna say if Clary's like max health regen, maybe she could be play tank. We team up. How about that, Mercy? I don't think I would team with you because you drive me actually insane. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, come to river. You're like, I can't be a river, bro. I have fire blossom. I'm gonna be like, why the fuck do you have fire blossom? You're playing Fang Mao, and you're like, it's new tech, bro. I've been trying it in casuals. What? What's up, Ed? You don't say that, ass Bond. Yeah, I don't believe that shit for a second. Chimera, health regen increased. Passive movement speed decreased on his passive. So when you hit 15 stacks, you get passive movement speed. You get less movement speed now. Base damage decreased on his, or removed from the 1. Increased scaling. Lower cooldown. That's a pretty big nerf to his clear, because base damage is pretty relevant to his clear, especially since you get 70% auto attack power on your autos to begin with when you proc your 1. So it's a pretty big nerf. Healing scaling on his 2 is nerfed. Regen scaling increase, so you get extra regen, but you get less burst heal. Cost decrease, probably a good thing, honestly. It's very cost heavy late game. Like, you end up running out of mana really fast on Chimera late game, which is really annoying. Scaling increase on his 3. You're probably maxing 3 now. Like, you could max either one, like, on the current patch, you're probably, like, permanently maxing the 3. Range increase is good, just makes it easier to get on range targets who have more auto attack range. Cooldown not going down, though, makes this also a little bit worse late game, so maybe you don't level it, hard to say. Base damage decreased early game, scaling increased, so it's better late game. Dot damage increased, so people that don't know, Chimera ult hit 6 times, which is why it insta-procs Basilisk. A lot of people don't know that for some reason, so the dot damage in between, way better. Cooldown decreased early game, so his ult will do a lot more damage. His 3 will do a little bit more damage, lower cooldown though, or sorry, longer cooldown. His 1, way less damage. He'll be a little bit more bursty. Less consistent though, I think. Kira, can't cleanse her passive, cringe. Upon reaching max stack, she gets her passive, like, buff. When she has her passive buff, she applies her max passive to everybody. So you hit one person 6 times, and you auto everybody once, or ult them, and then you proc your Q, and it insta-procs max stacks on everybody. Base damage on the 1 decreased to compensate. Extra scaling per stacks. So it's probably the same overall. Just worse when you only have 1 or 2 stacks on somebody. You have to actually have full stacks on somebody. Slow duration decreased. Cost increased early game. Lower late game. Her dash resets on kills. Dash doesn't go as far. Extra range when she has her passive. So as long as you have your passive, you can actually dash relevant distance. If you don't have your passive, you can't dash as far. So it's a little bit harder to get away from people. Cooldown increased as well. 4 seconds late game is a pretty significant nerf late game. But it does reset on kills, so maybe it's not as bad. Bonus damage on minions removed from the 3, 50% cooldown on the 3. When you hit, you can blink during it. When you have your passive, it's permanently reduced by 50%. So whenever you have your passive fully stacked, you can just start 3ing things no matter what it is. Dash in and ult, dash out on kill. More or less, yeah. He's reading it to us? What are you reading? What do you mean? Can I show her passive again? Her passive is the same as it is now. It's just when you have the full stacks, you get like a buff for a few seconds where it applies your passive to everybody fully stacked. So like if you stack 6 times on somebody, you're now buffed in your Umbra state with like your buff state. And then if you hit anybody with your passive again, it'll fully stack it on everybody else if you hit a different hero. So basically, you only have to stack it once, as opposed to stacking out on each individual hero, which is a nice quality of life, honestly, and makes her a little bit more interesting. Her ult no longer triggers on-hit effects, kind of lame. Does damage slower. Slow increase on herself, but she also gets more movement speed base, so maybe it won't make a difference. She can also dash further when her passive is up. Damage per tick. I believe you can blink during her ult now, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't say it here, but I'm pretty sure you can blink during the ult now as well. Her base damage is significantly lower, but again, if you apply your passive to somebody once, it applies your passive to everybody. Scaling significantly increased. Much worse early game, probably much better late game, like by a significant margin. You might just one-shot somebody late game. Can still crit, just doesn't proc on hits. There's cores in the battle pass. Yes, it says that. Hour and 30 seconds of pure content. It's because you read so slowly. It's because I'm talking to chat, bro, about the changes, man. Look, I'm just saying, man, I can do a patch note show, okay? Kwong, extra attack speed when he has his passive. I'll try to go a little faster. Extra attack speed when he has his passive. Cooldown works on monsters. I'm pretty sure this already works, if I'm not mistaken. The cooldown you get per stack is lowered. Base damage is lower on his passive. Hits people with the sword, pulling them to the ground so you can throw it. Kind of like Gideon 1, where it hits people in the air while it's going. Tether distance increased. I guess that kind of makes sense because people are faster, so it's a little bit easier. Sword falls slower, so it's easier to dodge. Range increased. The auto attack range. Damage increased slightly. Scaling increased. Cost goes down, or cooldown goes down. Cost goes down. You can blink during the 2. Makes it easier to hit like a sword and do a blink, like dash knockup combo. Knockup radius increased, so you knock people up at a further distance. Knockup duration is decreased though, so it's easier to get away from. Dash increased. Damage decreased. Scaling increased. Cooldown increased. That's a pretty big nerf. You can blink during the 3. True damage in the description displayed decimal value. About time you guys fix that. Come on now. What are you guys doing? Get PhD Super Meds 3. True. He's got a PhD. Surely he reads fast. Let's see. In-world radius. I assume this means when the sword is on the ground, the 3 has a larger increase, like a larger range. Extra scaling. True damage decreased, but you have more scaling, so maybe it compensates. Base damage decreased. Base shield increased, so you're tankier, you just do less damage. Shield MP doesn't scale as much off power, so you have a smaller shield when you have full damage. Shield duration doesn't last as long, so it's more consistent trading, because you don't just have to trade into it. You can blink during his ultimate. Very nice. Bellica, we already know the Bellica changes. Might be kind of fun to play ADC. We'll see how the auto attacks actually feel. Might feel really bad because I play on ping. We'll see. 10% mana on ability removed. You now get 10% haste, so just build fucking pen on Bellica. Why the fuck do you don't need cooldown anymore, bro? You get it for free. Cringe. Don't know if I like that, honestly. You just get 40% cooldown for free. That's kind of insane. Camera blocking window reduced, so you can now move your camera. You don't get locked into the one animation as much. Instead of traveling, it explodes in the whole area after 0.5 seconds, so it's a little bit easier to dodge, potentially. Especially up close. Stun duration decreased when it's max ranked. Damage is decreased at max rank. Drone can take damage from abilities. Basic attacks deal 2 damage. Single target abilities deal 4. AoEs deal 3. Dots deal 1. Minions and monsters deal 1, so that means minions can actually hit it now, which is interesting. I wonder how the targeting is, if it's like Iggy turrets where they get prioritized or not. I'm not really sure. Towers deal 8. It has 4 to 10, so it has actual 10 HP now instead of 4. So roughly it'll be about the same amount over the course of like an actual trade, but you can actually hit it with stuff now. Damages enemies hit by Bellica's abilities. Does it still hit when you use an ability? This man even add items. Brother, what do you want from me, man? Items are fast, though, because items aren't like that important, honestly. I assume items don't matter that much. Now always drains 2% max mana when dealing damage. Cringe. Yeah, I don't really like the drone change, I'm going to be honest. I like it, but also dislike it at the same time. It's like almost the way I feel like it should work. I still think it should take damage every time it shoots. I'm not going to lie. Still cringe that it can probably get 3k damage in a team fight if nobody hits it. Still cringe. But at least you'll be able to hit it with abilities now, so maybe it'll just die instantly in team fights, thank God. Damage, lower early game, stronger late game, duration increased. So again, kill this shit in the team fight, please. I'm begging you for the love of God. AoE drain, decreased late game, increased early game, but it has that max mana at all ranks. Base damage on the bomb, and now explodes twice. So the second hit, when you max rank it, does extra damage. Base damage, decrease slightly to compensate. Her ult piercing skill shot. Why does it silence? Remove the silence, please. Before this goes to live, please just remove the silence, bro. Please, I'm begging you. Remove the silence. Literally, her two worst matchups, Howitzer and Gideon, she now insta wins because she just cancels their ult. Please just remove this. Remove this part of the ability. It's fine that it's a skill shot. It's fine that you can cancel it, right? It's fine that it pierces. I don't even care that it resets late game when you max it out. Please remove the fucking silence. This should not exist. Please, for the love of God. Does way more damage, does less based on their mana, so it's just better early game. Range increased at all ranks. No, bro, I'm literally begging you. I'm literally begging you. I promise you this is not good. The ult silencing is terrible, bro. I promise you. That shit's really bad. Morigesh can't cleanse her passive. Cringe. Stackable now, so it's not as much damage off just one hit. It deals extra damage to monsters. Or sorry, deals half damage to monsters. Has flat amount per monster. Has flat cap amount on monsters, so she's not gonna insta kill fucking Orb Prime now. Her auto attack range is less than other characters. Dealing damage refreshes her passive. It doesn't stack her passive, but it refreshes whatever stacks you have. You can blink during the one. Projectile speed decreased, so you can dodge a little bit easier. Gravity decreased, so it's a little bit more floaty. You can throw it further. Never give in to the bullies. It's not even bullies. I'm just telling you what's good, man. I promise you that's not a good... I promise you Bellic ult having a silence is not good. Always slows targets, so you don't need your passive to actually slow... Or you don't need to mark somebody to be able to slow them, so it'll always slow, which is interesting. Slows increased from 20 to 50%. Holy shit, 50% is insane. Movement speed change from 20 to 50%. That's a lot. Refreshes when you hit somebody. Insane. 20% damage reduction. Honestly, Morigesh solo probably going to be really cringe next patch. Prepare for that because that's definitely going to happen a lot next patch. You get healed based off the pre-mitigated damage. So basically when you take damage, you heal based off the damage that you took. The base damage is like you don't get any flat healing anymore. So you have to take damage in order to heal. Probably, honestly, this is probably a good change. I like this. I like the mitigation, like, heal change. I like that a lot. I think that's nice. Base damage changed. Scaling increased. She can target minions and stuff with her 3. Means you can hide in the wave a little bit. Maybe she can miss, etc. Does mean she can jungle. She does get healing, though, unfortunately, on her 3. Kind of cringe. Not a fan of that. I wish this was just on heroes. This applies to everything. So, like, she can maybe play jungle, perhaps. Who knows? Actually just like an insane heal on this, like at all points. Like that's an insane heal, not gonna lie. On like a 3-second cooldown ability. Sorry, 5-second cooldown ability. Longer early game, you're maxing this anyways. Scaling increased, damage decreased, but you're gonna heal a fuck ton. Honestly, have fun playing against this shit in solo lane. All I'm saying. Mana decreased significantly, that's crazy. Yeah, have fun against this in solo, bro. Pick every Mage Bruiser tank completely busted and give Kwong some attack speed this patch. Epic. Did they buff Shinvi and shit too? Morn, 0 changes. Who gives a fuck about Morn? Newest character in the game, so or one of the newest characters in the game, so not surprised he doesn't get changed. Murdoch, passive cooldown removed. Now triggers on every 6 basic attack, so you can like charge it up before a team fight. No longer like something that you can just cringe last hit minions with. You actually have to like auto attack people. You get extra range. This is just to compensate for the base auto attack range being increased. Now deals bonus damage instead of removing pen. 70% physical power bonus damage is actually kind of insane late game. That's like an extra 200 damage on your auto attack every 6 auto, which is kind of nuts. And I assume this also crits. So that could be like, end up being like an extra 400 damage late game, which is actually insane. That might be really strong. We'll see how that is, though. I'm pretty sure this can crit, though, if I'm not mistaken. The way that's written, I'm pretty sure that can crit. He'll be very strong late game. Armor pen remove, though, is good. The Murdoch getting free pen is so cringe. You can auto nothing to get his passive. 6 successful. What is there right there? What's that word right there? Record it. Let's use our English reading skills. Okay, what's that word right there? What does that say? Successful. Good. Sound it out. Sound it out. Successful. Go ahead. There you go. You got that? Okay. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. The one projectile distance increased, so you can throw it faster, like it comes down faster. Activation, it activates faster, you can throw it further. Trap durations don't last as long though, so they don't like sit on the ground as much. Fancy lad, thank you for the resub, man. I appreciate the 2
Hope
months.
you're having a good stream, big dog.
I'm just reading the fucking patch notes, bro. This is a long ass fucking patch notes. I appreciate the 2 months, bro. Welcome back to the bird nest. Hope you're having a great day today, man. Base damage on the traps decreased, late game scaling decreased. Duration is increased though, kind of cringe. Means if you get hit by way more. You can't be hit by back-to-back traps as quickly. So maybe that's good. Have fun playing against Murdoch solo, idiots. Enjoy that. It's gonna be Morgish fucking Murdoch solo lane every game. Cooldown increased like early game. Typically you don't level this ability. Maybe typically you level this ability. So I don't think that cooldown actually makes a difference unless they made the mana cost on the 2 a lot less, which is part of his problem. Is that if you max the 2 right now, you run into issues, and it does look like they significantly lowered the mana cost on his 2. So okay, you're probably not maxing the 1. You're probably maxing the 2 second now, anyways. There should increase from 2 to 5 seconds of movement speed, brother. What the fuck? Movement speed changed from 25 to you get more movement speed, but it decays. That's insane. This is an insane change. I'm not gonna lie. You get attack speed stacking. Resets on takedown. Okay, so you get to get kills for it to stack. Okay, but like why? Okay, this is actually like kind of nuts. This is an insane change. But there's actually just gonna run you down. Yeah, he's actually just running you down. I'm not gonna lie. Cooldown decreased early game. Increased late game. Mana cost decreased when you level it. This is actually like an insane ability. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually just like insanely better Sparrow too by like an insane amount. Passive Murdoch 1v5. Yeah, this character's actually gonna be kind of nuts. You will actually just get ran down. This is just an insanely better Sparrow too. You can blink during his 3. And they put the shred on it. They put the armor pen on his 3, so it just lasts for 4 seconds. Okay. So they removed the armor pen to then give him armor pen for 4 seconds instead of on 1 auto. Okay. Let's go. Okay, I guess. Sure. All right. Bro, what? This is so much better, bro. Like, what the fuck? This is so much better, by the way. This applies to, like, your team. Like, your team gets penned now, basically, because you're shredding armor, so it reduces their prots for your team. This reduces objective prots, so you're going to shred objectives. That's crazy. Wind up laser radius increased by 6 times. So it's easier to hit. Angle increase from 1.1 to 2.5. I don't know what that means. Time to fire increased slightly. Damage increased slightly. Okay, but it's easier to hit, so what does it matter if it takes a little longer to fire? Huh? Wind up is a telegraph, not hitbox. Oh, so you can like see where he's actually throwing it? Okay, that makes sense. What does the angle mean, though? It's a little bit easier to like dodge now is basically what you're saying, which is good. Global sound to it so you can hear it wind up for the blinks. Okay, good. Actually being able to like react to it is good. That's a good change. I didn't realize that's what that was. Some more radius at long range to make up for the time to fire. Oh, so like the further you throw it, the wider it is. I actually didn't know Murdoch ult worked that way, honestly. Is voice chat in 1.4 on Tuesday? Yes. I didn't know Murdoch ult worked that way. That's interesting. I guess that kind of makes sense, though. It would be interesting, though, if it did less damage at max range to compensate for that. Like, the cone's not as, like, the ability's not as, like, precise at max range. So, honestly, I feel like it should do less damage if that's the case at max range. Personal opinion. I feel like it should do a little bit less damage. Not, like, a ton less, but, like, maybe, like, I don't know, 70% damage max range. Am I a dev? You wish, Denim. You wish. Blood's a dev, though. Blood's my favorite dev, actually. Actually, I can't say that anymore. It's got to be Ace now, honestly. I'm sorry, Blood. You've been demoted. It's got to be Ace now. Fix PlayStation. I'm on it, bro. Muriel, shield applying armor is like a Giga buff to her, honestly. Just like directly. Her passive, more base damage, less scaling. Makes her stronger early, worse late game. Scaling decreased on her 1. This might seem like a nerf. Honestly, this is a buff. The fact that armor applies on shields makes her way better, even though like she might not be shielding for as much. and whatnot, like on her abilities and shit, she's like Giga buffed. Less damage on R1. You can blink during it though. This will last longer. Less mana, lower cooldown. Strong buff. This, you get less shielding, but like the fact that shields apply armor, this is actually a buff. Like you're gonna have more effective shields. So like this is actually a buff, even though it looks like a nerf, due to the rear change. Lower cooldown. If you could blink during the 3, adds a soft lock on when targeting a hero. Probably a good thing, honestly. Soft lock on is not terrible for this because it's kind of hard to hit your allies. You get movement speed, extra movement speed. You get less attack speed. Cooldown decrease late game. Cost increased. Again, less shield scaling, but shields proc armor, so you get more value. Base shield in the ult, same thing. Looks like a nerf, but it's actually probably a buff overall. More scaling on it as well. Less damage scaling. Pretty sure this is a buff. Shields are like extra HP now with the applying armor. Correct. It's not shields apply armor. It's damage against shield is affected by target armor. Yeah, so like if you have a shield currently, you do true damage to that person. Like until the shield is gone, basically. So if you have 60% mitigation and you have a 200 HP shield, currently you have 0% mitigation for that 200 HP. Now you'll have that 60% mitigation for that 200 HP. So if it's like a 150 HP shield versus a 200 HP shield, that 60% mitigation makes the 150 health shield way more value than the 200. So she's like way stronger in terms of the value of a shield. Miracle plus 4 tanks drain team, actually true. Shield's so broken. Yeah, shields would be a lot better. Just all shields, like Soul Bearer, fucking the ADC item, fucking Sanctify, like all those will be way better. Narbash, extra physical power per stack of his passive. Sure, you can play him jungle now a little bit easier, I guess. Extra magical power scaling on his movement speed. I don't know if he needs that, I'm gonna be honest, considering he can have this permanently, but sure. You're not really building a ton of movement speed on him anyways. His heal ticks faster the more haste you have, and it's doubled for allies, but the amount of healing that it gets is halved. So basically, this is actually just a buff to healing your allies. It's worse on himself, but it's a buff to your allies. You heal your allies more. Also, the more passive stacks you have late game, the stronger your heal is. Slightly worse early game based on your passive stacks. This is actually just like a straight buff to Narbash healing to his allies. The only downside to this is that because your heal ticks faster, you run out of mana faster. So maybe you won't be able to have infinite mana regen. Remains to be seen though. I'll have to try it. But I'm pretty sure this is like actually just a buff to his healing. It does make him a little bit easier to focus, but good luck focusing Narbash, brother. I'm going to be honest with you. Kill the healer like in more rivals. Worse early, Giga buffed late. Yeah, that's basically what it means, pretty much. Yeah. The only way I could see this ever being dog shit is if, again, the faster tick rate means that you run out of mana like super fast, but then again, if you're healing that much faster, you just get the heal quickly, and then you just turn it off, and then you turn it back on, and you turn it off again. It's not just like you have it permanent active, so like maybe you have to use your brain slightly more, but like, I don't know. This seems like a Giga buff, I'm not gonna lie. Plus the extra scaling on the movement speed. I'm gonna be honest, Narbash is already Giga broken. He might just be the best support in the game next patch. I'm not gonna lie. Narbash jungle gonna cook long awaited, brother. Mercy, shut the fuck up, bro. Oh, especially that new fucking crit overlord, man. Holy. The Lord gets decreased cooldown on his 3 based off his passive, so he's not going to be able to stun as often. He gets 90% physical power scaling. Okay, so his 3's going to fucking chunk. He also gets extra damage instead of cooldown. Yeah, his 3's going to fucking chunk. That's just going to hit for like 500. That's going to be nuts. No longer it is bonus damage on his ultimate, he gets an extra 25% reduction on damage. Ah, yes. I will stun the Narbash out of its ultimate. I will cancel this True Silver that now gets extra protections. Oh wait, the Narbash also gets extra mitigations. I shall get rid of this True Silver shield, I promise. Good luck canceling Narbash ult, buddy. You're getting hit by that every time, I promise you. You are not canceling Narbash ult next patch, brother. Have fun, man. Have fun. You're not canceling that shit. Yeah, Narbash permaban, buddy. You thought you were playing that shit. Permabanned. I'm never playing against that shit, bro. I don't fucking care. Good luck, buddy. I ain't playing against that shit. Have fun, bro. That's my permaban in ranked. Ain't nobody gonna Mickey Mouse not play the game, bro. Ain't no way they fucking buffed them, dude. Like, what the fuck was that? FaZe, honestly, I don't think FaZe is gonna be that broken. So she gets a passive blink now that when you hit somebody with your one, so her heal stacks now, but it's not like the base damage is less. So like you can heal more for slamming multiple abilities in a row. Her blink gets replaced for a 60-second cooldown, 50 mana cost ability, which is like another blink. It's just a lower cooldown blink. When you hit your one, it refreshes the cooldown. FaZe gonna be impossible for anybody to kill, honestly. AFK FaZe players nerfed. Yes, but now FaZe is like kind of dog shit, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like this character's kind of dog shit. I feel like Crazy thinks this character is gonna be insane. I think this shit's gonna be ass. She is gonna be impossible to kill for any melee character though. Literally no melee character will ever be able to kill this character because she's gonna perma blink on an 8-second cooldown. Blind duration increased. Irrelevant. Damage decreased. She gets extra damage when she blinks though. I don't think this character's gonna be insane. When you hit the one on somebody, a blind, it resets your blink. I don't think you're ever gonna kill this character, but I don't think she's gonna be good. I'm gonna be honest. You can blink during the Lance now. The Lance range decreased by like 25%. A little bit less than 25, but close enough. How does she blink in 8 seconds? Because she blink whenever she hits with her one, which is an 8-second cooldown, it resets her blink cooldown. So if you won somebody, like if a melee character gets to you, you won, then you blink away. Then if they get to you again, you won again, and then she blinks again. Does that make sense? Anyways, Lance, lower range. Root durations decreased. Honestly, a good change. Cooldown decreased late game. Cringe. FaZe Lance, one of the most annoying abilities in the game. She can't pull people that are stunned, though. Very lame. They changed the way it looks so that you can, like, it's more feedback oriented to, like, whether or not you can pull them or not. And the pull duration is changed early game in terms of, like, cooldown. But I think this is, like, honestly, I would not have changed FaZe this way. I don't know why they didn't just make this. What do you mean Survivor crying, bro? Crazy doesn't even play that shit. I don't know why they did this instead of just making it so that if you stun FaZe, the Lance goes on cooldown. That's literally all they had to do to FaZe is, like, if you stun the FaZe, the Lance goes on, like, a 6-second cooldown so you can punish the person that, like, she was linked to. That's really all they had to do. And she would have been way better. This, I don't know. I don't know if she'll be OP or not, but, like, I feel like this is, like, kind of cringe. Like a fucking 8-second blink is pretty crazy. She might be good. She might not. I still think she's going to be, like, one of those characters where you just watch her team die. I don't know. The stacking healing will be nuts. Yeah. I mean, you do stack the healing. You'll kind of just be like Aphrodite in Smite, I think. I just don't know how good she'll be. It's so hard to tell. She'll be, like, very hard to kill, though. Like, herself. I just don't know if she helps her teammates that much. Little FaZe bots. That's what happens when you play on controller, bro. Rampage. They took his attack speed away. You get extra regen in the jungle. You get also extra regen based on your level, so you're going to be healing a lot. Out of combat healing modifier removed. I don't even know what that means. When you get stunned, you get 40% tenacity and you restore 5% max health over duration. This is just old Unbroken Will passive. This is insane. I don't know why they did this. Rep is going to be very hard to fucking kill. Build anti-heal, please. I'm begging you. I'm on my hands and knees. Build anti-heal, brother. I'm begging you. This shit's insane. You can blink with the boulder in hand, which is really nice. You pick it up faster. You don't get slowed as much. It does cost mana to pick it up, even if you don't throw it, which is good. You can pounce with it, so you can jump with it, and then you get the AoE stun on the ground wherever you land, which is really nice. It applies the jump damage as well as the rock damage, which is really good. I've been asking for this change for a while. It just makes him less reliant on the ult. Still really reliant on the rock, but less reliant on the ult, which is still good. Rampage gets extra HP physical power based on his 2. So he just gets extra power, I guess. So he gets Overlord passive for free. Okay. That's a pretty big buff. Oh my goodness, it's a Rampage buff. You can blink during his ult, like during the cast. It lasts 10 seconds all ranks. You get extra bonus HP. You regen max HP per second instead. 4% max HP is going to be kind of nuts late game. You have 5,000 HP. you're getting a fucking fuckload of healing late game. Build anti-heal, please. I'm begging you. Revenant changes. His one prioritizes mark targets. I wonder how much that is. Is it like all of the missiles? Sorry, he also gets 20% attack speed scaling on his passive. His crit scaling is also increased by 10%. Not sure what the attack speed scaling actually does for him. Anyways, prioritizes targets. His 2 is a target line skill shot, so you can miss it. The damage instances that get increased. This is like how much damage. This increases the amount of damage that you do with these hits. It goes to 4. It doesn't slow anymore though, but upon consuming all 4 stacks, it roots the target for 1.3 seconds. Why though? Why though? Pizzo thinks Rev is by far the worst character in the game right now. Rev is definitely not the worst, but I don't know if I'd say he's the best. He's definitely not bad though. He's just like inconsistent. This is kind of nuts though, because this means you have like a root on like a what is his cooldown? 14 seconds. You have a root on a 14-second cooldown if you hit it. Gonna be kind of nuts. Because this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna 2 somebody. You're gonna shoot like twice, so you have 2 shots left. You're gonna throw this at somebody. You're gonna 1 them. It's gonna guaranteed root because it prioritizes them now. Then you're gonna pop 2 shots and then you're gonna leave. That's pretty nuts. Lower range though. Consuming all stacks deals the initial damage again. Okay, so you just do extra damage when you hit somebody. It also lasts 6 seconds. Less scaling though. Base damage decreased a lot, which is kind of nice, I guess. Compensates a little bit. Less mana cost. Fix an issue where you can't ult when you can't reload. Can't shoot after you reload. This is like a ping issue. This happens a lot on ping. Hopefully that solves it. You no longer scale with attack speed. Your 4-shot grants 40% movement speed upon for 2 seconds after dealing damage. Okay, that's pretty nuts. The max HP, missing HP increases from 5 to 10%, so you could just do 10% of somebody's missing HP. Kind of nuts. Crit damage increased. Or sorry, crit damage decreased. Okay, so that's kind of like a nerf. But his passive also got increased, so probably pretty similar, honestly. Towers are now present in both realms. Okay, so you can't tower dive anymore. Towers will hit you probably. You slow the target instead of rooting them, which is good, honestly. Roots are pretty cringe. It means it was really hard to dive them because you would like jump on them and then he'd root you. Now you at least have the ability to dash after him while you're slowed. All tanks gonna be running around 500 stacks with 8k HP. Who are we talking about? Bro, let me get to the fucking items, bro. Richter, he's increased his passive. He now gets a shield when he hits somebody with his ult, or his 3 no longer gets a free shield anymore. His 1 removes shields. Bro, this is like the longest fight. How long have I been streaming, bro? 2 hours? We're in this 2 hours? Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy shit. You can cast the 3 while in the air, so you can jump hook now, which is nice. Radius on the 2 is increased. You also get more movement speed. You can ult while in the air, so you can like flash up and ult the howitzer in the air. If you get hit by CC, your ult is canceled. The other person is no longer stunned anymore. It's now a stun instead of a suppression, which means you can cancel Richter ultimate. This is a great change. It means you can't just fucking ape somebody in a team fight. You actually have to use it correctly. Thank God. This is a great change. This is a great fucking change. Because if it was like, Richter's dead! Richter's dead! He made it so you can stun this ultimate! Richter's dead! I can't ape the front line anymore! I have to actually ult correctly! Yeah, shut the fuck up, buddy. Good fucking change. This is a great change. This is a great fucking change. His passive nerf is like pretty significant though. This is a great fucking change though. Actual counterplay to the ult, bro. Thank God. The passive change is a big nerf, but the rest of it gets a lot better, so we'll see. Mike Peak equals peak content. Bro, I had like a fucking long ass conversation with Crazy about how Richter ult is good this way. Like it's way more balanced this way. Okay, Sereth. Fully damage and CC immune during the cast, so you can't cancel it. It's not really a dash anymore, it's actually a teleport now. Deals bonus damage to monsters. On-hit modifier increase, so it procs like Sky Splitter and stuff a lot more. Base damage on R2 is increased, or sorry, decreased. The scaling's increased though, so it'll probably be more late game. Significant nerf early game to the cooldown. Gonna make it a lot. That's like a big nerf to your solo lane, to be honest. Also means you might have to max this now compared to this, which we'll see if that makes a difference. Slow duration of the 3 being 2 seconds is crazy. It means you can walk people down a lot more.
Locked down one girl this year.
Yo, Yiz, thank you for the prime, man. I
Which is
appreciate
all
what
that
Happy
Happy
Friday,
could.
Pewdle.
Thank you for the patch, thank you for the prime, man. I appreciate it. Happy Friday, brother. Hope you're having a great day today. Her burn damage decreased late game. Sarah's still gonna be really good. It's gonna be a very strong character probably. Sev, we already know the Sev changes. He's 8% larger. Positives and negatives. Easier to body block people. Easier to get hit by abilities. Things like that. Positives and negatives. Sev passive. Now infinitely stacks. You get less health per tier, but you still get health per stack. I believe your one still gets bonus damage per stack as well. At 40 stacks, you get Omnivamp. This applies to all of your abilities. He's going to be a lot harder to play early game, but he's going to be a lot stronger late game. Shred on enemy heroes is good. Crazy mercy takes are about as lateral. Are about lateral, methinks. What you mean by that? Trying to get into IT, it's $25 per month. Hold on. We've seen your soul. Skip this. Mercy, I'm literally 10 times better than you at playing Severog, buddy. Increase to 300 to 10k. Yeah, buddy. Good luck getting above even 400 CS. Mercy opinions are stuck on page 4. Holy shit. Let's see. 50% cooldown on its ult and shit like that, etc., etc. Upgraded aura, you get Fire Blossom for free when you're at the 160 stacks. Gonna be really strong late game. Harder to play early game because you don't have the healing on the one anymore. Also does less damage per stack or per tier, so you have to actually stack it to get higher damage. And they lowered the base damage early. Less scaling. You do get bonus health scaling though, so it'll probably even out without the stack damage because you get extra HP. You're glad I actually saw jungle isn't a cakewalk and 10 CS a minute was a lie. Brother, I had like 9.5 CS a minute on the losing team. What are you talking about? While also just having losing lanes. What do you mean? 10 CS a minute isn't a lie. I went 07. Yeah, I have the losing fucking team. What do you mean? I have 3 losing lanes. What are you talking about? You just don't know how to farm. Anyways, Subjugate no longer slows. His dash can dash through people. It deals max health damage, which is kind of crazy. Also, the slow is now on the 3 instead of the 2, but the 2 lasts longer. So, like, I don't know, kind of cringe. 10 CS minute isn't hard if you route correctly, correct. You do know how to farm, you farm my laners. Yeah, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's how that works, buddy. It's impossible in comp to be active. I would agree with that. That's why you should just farm. Literally, comp is just counter gank. That's really all comp is literally just counter gank. It's almost impossible to be, like, winning on the initial gank most of the time. Like, if the enemy jungler's there, you lose that counter gank every time. The only time you actually get, like, a good gank is if the enemy jungler isn't there. It's almost impossible to, like, get a gank without the enemy jungler. Like, if the enemy jungler is there, it's almost impossible to win if they're counter ganking. Like, almost every time. That's why, like, starting blue and then, like stopping the gank level 1 is, like, really strong. Shimby, empowered hit, cooldown, nerfed early game, buff late game, less scaling on our passive. Wolf size increased and it's less bouncy. Cringe. The hitbox is a lot higher. The hitbox is more vertical, so you can't jump it. Cringe. Why are we buffing Shimby? She's already fucking Giga broken. 2.5 second cooldown. What the fuck? Brother, revert this shit right now, bro. Come on, man. Brother, revert this shit right now. Revert this shit right now. What the fuck? And mana cost decrease so you can spam it more? Bro, what the fuck? She's already Giga broken, brother. She's already like a ban in comp half the time. What the fuck? If you had 2 bans in comp per team, you're banning this shit, bro. Why are we buffing that? What the fuck? Hitting people with your 2, they increased the scaling. Base shield decreased. Lower shield scaling decreased. Cost decreased. When you hit somebody, it reduces the duration of your 3. Your 3 has 2 charges. Instead of like being like a dash and then a second dash, you just get 2 charges instead. Cooldown decreased to 7 seconds late game. Okay, bro. What the fuck is this change, bro? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What even is this, bro? What the fuck? Oh man, I already know the ult. Okay, the ult, you can't cleanse her ult anymore, so you can't cleanse the stacks. Her stacks apply, like her ult will do damage to anybody that has stacks. This doesn't mean 8 stacks max. This means if you can have 8 stacks on every single person. Bro, this is insane. This is actually insane. Don't read it, skip it. No, you just hit everybody that you hit. This is actually insane, brother. This should be changed is fucking insane. Who did this? Brother, I don't know who designed this, but whoever did clearly has a hard-on for Shimby more than myself, brother. I got a Shimby cosplay, brother, and I don't have this much of a hard-on for this shit, brother. Revert this shit immediately, man. What the fuck is this? This is actually insane. This is actually insane. That is crazy change. 2 bans at the start. She's gone. Oh, I'm banning Gadget, Iggy, fucking Shimby every game, brother. Probably Feng Mao as well. Maybe Ramp. I don't know. Okay. Skylar, I don't think she has many changes. I'm pretty sure it's just she lasts in the air longer, but she doesn't come down as fast. I'm pretty sure she just has like numbers nerfs, like damage decreases, if I'm not mistaken. And then she can hover in the air when she's holding the ult. That's about it, I think, is she just damage changes. Sparrow, her passive applies to minions now and like monsters and stuff. This is good. Helps her clear. Helps her like farm camps and shit and like actually pressure lane. This is also important because it applies your passive. Like applying your passive to minions means that your 3 does extra damage to minions, which means if you won the wave and then you 3, you probably clear much faster, which is pretty big. Gnar, oh yeah, I forgot about Gnar, bro. You don't change the game, changes the game, revert that shit. Well, that's a dog shit change, brother. When I say change the game, I mean change the fucking map or something, man. Not make shit OP. But yeah, Sparrow probably instant clears the wave now. Her 1 now deals damage over 8 ticks instead of 1, meaning you can apply your passive more often. Like you apply more of your passive to people with your 1, which is really good. They made the slow 40% at all ranks. Less scaling, who cares? Damage decreased as well, but again, it applies your passive more, so that's good. And the slow's 40% at all ranks, so you don't have to actually level it anymore. That's a buff. Pen Sparrow OP, honestly, just fun, bro. It is. I can't lie, bro. Can't satisfy me ever. I want good changes, not shit changes, brother. Yeah, you fucking thought, Mercy. I've had the same thought on Bellica every day, bro. Let's see. Her 2 gains attack speed for 6 seconds, and every other basic attack gets the same target in the duration to deal 20% total attack damage. Wait. Okay, so you get attack speed, and then you deal 20% extra damage is what this is, correct? Okay. So you just deal 20% extra damage when your 2's active. Cooldown increased. Okay, I mean, she's just gonna hit super fucking hard. I hated Bellica. It's cringe, bro. I still hate Bellica. Even on the current patch, it's cringe, bro. You get knocked up, you die instantly. It's cringe. You don't have to have a fucking brain. You like the same thing with Countess. You just dash it and ult. You don't have to have a fucking brain. It's cringe. That shit's cringe as fuck. No more alt lock on? Yeah, unless you're on fucking controller, bro. You saw the fucking aim on that shit. What is this? Her 3 deals extra damage to people beyond the... Or deals damage beyond the first target, so it doesn't get blocked by 1 person anymore, I believe. Which is how it currently works, if I'm not mistaken. MOBA without cringe ain't a MOBA. I mean, different kinds of cringe, bro, to be honest. No more lock on? Yeah, we'll see, bro. They also Giga buffed it and gave it a fucking silence for no reason and then made it reset, so we'll see. Yeah, her 3 now deals damage past the first person. Longer cooldown though. Cringe, they're nerfing my Ben Sparrow. Cringe. I just want to have fun. Scaling is based off levels though, which is interesting. And then her passive makes the right click do more damage now. Base damage also increased. Her ult now is kind of like Misfortune, where it's just like a guaranteed amount of shots over a set duration. Kind of like Howie ult in a way, where it just shoots a bunch. Darkest Silence, thank you for the follow, or sorry, the sub. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Bird Nest, man. Thank you for the gifted sub to Travis. My goat. Appreciate it. So yeah, basically, it just it applies a certain amount of hits, guaranteed, no matter what your attack speed is, so it's not affected by your attack speed anymore. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Just think of it more as like, instead of shooting regular auto attacks, you're shooting like a missile, kind of like Howitzer, where it's just like guaranteed amounts, regardless, no matter what. Steel, he's bigger. They removed his passive. They gave him what's his face passive, Richter's current passive, where he gets HP based off his max HP when he's out of combat. He also gets 20% bonus magical and physical armor. based on his other amount. So if he has 200 magical armor, he gets 40 extra physical armor, and vice versa. Gotta be very tanky next patch. His wall now affects multiple targets. It also damages minions and monsters, so you can use it to clear, and not just like hit one person in a team fight. Other than that, he's pretty much the exact same. Minus some slight changes to like damage numbers and stuff. Terra, same thing, just some damage changes, nothing crazy. Her 2 is now a AoE ability, which means you can't pull the wave with it anymore. So that's a good change. Just means you can't just pull the wave, which is super cringe. Even if you like hit like the full wave and then root somebody, like it doesn't pull the wave anymore, which is really cringe. Cooldown also significantly increased early game. It means you probably have to level this second over the dash, which I already did anyways, but personal preference there. You get less of a charge bonus. Those are pretty much the biggest changes. The other thing is you get her ult duration is now significantly longer in terms of CC immunity, and then you don't get double armor when you ult. Currently, when you ult, you get double the armor of like your passive benefits from this ability. Now you don't, so a little bit worse now. No big health with Axe now. What do you mean no big health? Steel unkillable, we needed that. No, he didn't. Steel now has Richter's old passive. Yeah, so he has the max HP shield out of combat, and then he also missed a double damage increase on steel dashes. I mean, that's just base numbers. This is just base numbers. This isn't even double damage. What do you mean? This is double damage on his right click, but it has less max HP. This will be roughly the same amount overall. The cooldown is big, but like it's just numbers changes. That's like not that crazy. The big thing is just his passive. Can't heal with Omnivamp by throwing Axe at full wave. Oh, I guess you can, yeah, because it's not a single target ability anymore. So now it gets the AoE healing of 33% instead of 100. I didn't even realize that was a thing until you say it like that. That actually makes a lot of sense. That's probably why she was so fucking cringe with healing, brother. That makes a lot of sense as to why she healed so much. Because it would count as 100% lifesteal. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a big nerf, actually. To this. To both, actually. They were both considered single target. I actually didn't realize that. What is this song? Bro, my computer is actually just broken. I can't tell you, Denim, I'm gonna be honest. It's Memphis Mayfire, I can tell you that, though. My computer actually just doesn't work because I have Chrome open, I think. Faye, her one is wider. You can blink with it. You get movement speed when you're on top of it. So do your allies. So you can use it as a escape tool or like a engage tool to make you run down people. The slow's just flat 45% now. It now spawns in segments as well, and the length is increased. Her 2 is blinkable, like you can blink with it. Range decrease. Also kind of a nerf because auto attacks get increased. Cost increases with level. Cooldown higher early game, lower late game. You might not level this first anymore. Fly trap, lower radius. The range to pull is increased. The scaling is increased. The time to pull is increased. So it's easier to break and react to, but the radius to actually link to somebody is smaller. So it's like harder to actually hit somebody initially, but it's more likely to pull them, provided there are no walls around. But if there are, you can more easily react to like dashing behind a wall and breaking the link. TB, you can blink with the 1. Less overlap on the 1, so it's less like it's probably harder to hit both hits at the same time. Slow duration on the grenades increased. Pretty much the big things. Right, this is actually the longest patch since I've ever read in my entire life. Okay, TB ult now crits 75% value. Crazy change. TB ult now crits. The duration is longer. Projectile speed decreased, so you can maybe juke it a little bit. Shoots more bullets in general. This will probably one-shot you again. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why they made this crit. Kind of insane. You might just get one shot by TB ult now. Yeah. Critting on the ult is crazy. Wraith. Duration on his passive increased. What is even his passive? Duration increased, cooldown decreased. What the fuck is Wraith passive? They made aiming at shit though. Yeah, it's probably a lot harder to aim. I'm trying to think what the fuck is Wraith passive? Let me open up the game real quick. The fuck is Wraith passive? Why am I blanking on that? Oh, his fucking what's it called? His fucking wards. There we go. I can't fucking think. There we go. His wards. There you go. That's his wards. Lower cooldown. They last longer. His one, the grenade throws further or throws faster, so it's easier to hit. Bigger hitbox, bigger explosion radius, etc. Less damage, less scaling, less max HP damage early game. Gonna be less cringe. Mark doesn't last as long, so you have to snipe faster. Slow duration lowered. Big nerf to his one. He now gets an extra super jump. The first time he goes, the first jump he activates when invis, he gets a super jump basically, benefiting him, allowing to get over like obstacles and shit. He gets extra physical pen. Duration on the invis doesn't last as long. Duration lowered. Mana cost reduced. Wraith does have some mana issues. Range on the 3 increased. Gets flat damage increase per level, so it's actually like a buff. Even though this like damage decrease looks bad, it's actually a buff overall. You get a lot more damage late game. Physical power scaling reduced a little bit. Magical scaling reduced. Extra damage to minions increased, so you do more damage to minions. Cooldown lowered. Cost refunded less, so you don't get as many free snipes. The ult now teleports them more quickly and pushes them back further. Also has further range, longer cooldown though. And when you do ult somebody, when they come back, it does mark them, so you can like grenade, snipe, rewind, snipe them again. It resets the snipe again because they got the second mark on them, and then you can snipe a third time. So now you basically just get an extra mark in your kit, which just makes it a little bit more synergistic. I don't know if he's going to be good or not. Hard to say. I don't really know, to be honest. Rewind is still one of the lamest abilities in the game. Yin 1 no longer roots. Thank God. I'm so tired of that. Hopefully it doesn't follow flashes and shit anymore. Also tired of that. That's pretty much it. Tier 3 pushes people away from you. If they're right on top of you, it creates a little bit of space, kind of like Murdoch pushback, I'm pretty sure is how that works. Not sure the distance on it, but it's like a small pushback if I'm not mistaken. Zorus, the one just gets flat mitigation, 75% instead of scaling with levels. Damage is a little different, scaling is a little different, just numbers changes. Extra movement speed from his 2, it doesn't last as long though. And then the ult, the 3 you can blink while holding it, etc. That's different. Range decrease on the without throwing it. I wish they gave it extra damage on the throw, so that's like more relevant, but you know, we'll see. The ult doesn't come out as high, so you can jump it a little bit easier, maybe with like Galaxy Greaves or something, who fucking knows. As far as the radius increase, makes it a little bit harder to actually get like microwaved by abilities like Gadget Ult or something. They actually have to aim it a little bit easier, but does catch more people in it, so could be better, could be worse. Zinx, pretty sure she just got the only big thing is that her 2 now applies. It's like a projectile now, and if it hits somebody, it just goes straight down. It doesn't go through people anymore. Other than that, I don't think she got changed, other than just like numbers. Okay, actual things, wards, extra range, we already knew that. Support crest, they evolve earlier. Increase Silentium range. Leaf Song gets less movement speed. Sanctification, less shield and less mitigation. Oh, sorry, less shielding, not mitigation. But you get extra armor on shields, so like armor or shields are affected by armor, so this is still a buff. Soul Bearer, movement speed decrease. Surprised they didn't nerf the shield. They did nerf the cooldown though, which is probably good. Who's winning this patch? Narb, Gadget, Iggy probably. There's some pretty egregious characters, honestly. I think it's gonna be shortened quite a bit. Everything getting pushed up, plus TTS is higher. Yeah, probably. It's probably like 25 minutes. Oh yeah, Shimby. For sure, Shimby. Hitting somebody with multiple hits of the Tempest does less damage, but you get extra healing. Doesn't last as long. Time Flux Band cooldown increase to just match Soul Bearer, I imagine. Less movement speed. You get mana refund on it. Next, doesn't stow damage as long. Doesn't do as much damage. Going to be a lot worse. Or it is less movement speed, less permanent physical power. Still going to be really good. Liberator, less shield just to compensate for the fact that you get more value out of shields. Now states the base shield amount in description. I didn't even. I assumed it was just based. I thought it already did. Honestly, I just assumed it did. Shield off physical power scaling is less. You get base damage on pacifier. Says it. I assumed it already did. I'm not gonna lie. What did you do to your boy Ordis? I mean, Ordis is still gonna be really good. I keep nerfing Nex, bro. Nex is so fun because it's unfun to play against. Also, if they're buffing a lot of the assassins, like you don't want Nex to be good. It just makes it more bursty. I feel like Countess is going to be a menace. I think Countess is worse than she is now. On paper. Granted, her numbers could be like overtuned, but I think like in terms of her actual kit, she's probably worse. Icecorn, less slow, doesn't last as long, less movement speed, good change. Refillable potion. You get extra healing. Okay. Sure. I don't really like this change. They heal faster. I assume is what this means. But they don't scale with like per level. They scale at like certain levels now. So they're more like consistent. I don't know. I don't really like potions the way they were in the game. I wish they were viable. Let them just fly around me 4 times and I'm dead. Wait, what are we talking about? Who's flying around you? Stamina tonic. From 300 to 12% max HP, they're 500. You get 20 temporary haste. Temporary haste. Just haste when you have it. This is going to be a lot better. 12% max HP, way better than 300 flat, to be honest with you. Better for tanks, worse for squishies. Shred tonic just going down in cost. Protection tonic going down in cost. Lucky feather, you get less gold. Siege minions give you extra gold, and killing heroes grants you extra gold. Might actually be worth picking up in a slow game. I'd have to do the math on this, honestly. Are words viable, though? No. I wish. Cleaver, reduced cost, easier to get on a full clear. Tier 2 blight increased, less movement speed off polar treads. Mercy's in shambles right now, he's crying. This is just tier 2 nerfs. Absolution, move from carrier to fighter. Still don't think you're buying this. 30 magical armor, irrelevant. Cost decrease is kind of nice though. Maybe you still buy it on crunch. Still don't think it's a great item. Less movement speed on Dust Devil, but you get more base movement speed, so it's probably the same. Less slow on Lightning Hawk. Thank God, I'm so tired of this fucking item. Less scaling on it as well. Increased lifesteal on Onyxian Quiver. Still a good item. Just a buff, honestly. Plasma Blade. Less attack speed, more power. Buff to like Grim and Skylar. Sky Splitter. More percent max HP. Deals 6% current max health as a melee hero. So if you're a melee hero, you get more value. This is just like a balancing of Demolisher nerf. Basically, it used to do 3%, and then Demolisher made it 3.75%. This is just a balancing of Demolisher being nerfed to make it basically back to what it was prior to Demolisher being nerfed. So this is just like a rebalance based on the Demolisher nerf. So Sky Splitter, you're still going to build it. You build it currently, you're going to build it next patch. Better on melee heroes, though, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if this 6% applies to Yin or not. Because I'm pretty sure Onyxian passive applies to Yin, like the melee passive. So I'm pretty sure Yin is going to do like 9% max HP on her too. Or like with her 2 plus this. I'm pretty sure Yin's going to be very strong next patch due to that. You get no stacking on Stormbreaker. Electric momentum damage decrease from 30 to 25. Wait. So you don't get free stacking anymore? Or you don't get stacking power? 35% bonus physical power, 20% total physical power. So is this item just shit now? Because you don't get stacking? Like, am I wrong on this? It's just shit now? I'm pretty sure this item is just shit now. Because you don't get stacking, scaling. Blade increased to 45%. Probably a good thing, honestly. Healing's really cringe. Terminus lifesteal increased. Nolair gets extra lifesteal on missing HP. Envy. Now critical strikes for 140% damage value. Cost increased. I don't know if I like or dislike this. I'm not sure this even makes like a difference. I don't think the item's like that crazy to begin with. other than the fact that you get a silence, but you only get it once every 45 seconds. Not sure the crit is like that OP. Malady, haste reduced, demise damage decreased, scaling decreased, damage per stack decreased. Malady, Giga nerfed. They might have just gutted this item, honestly. You might just build Mind Razor every game. Mind Razor, lower cost. Okay, you're just building Mind Razor every game. Gain physical power equal to 2%. Okay, yeah, you're just building Mind Razor every game. Okay. They made it so you build Mind Razor every game. Cool. Okay. If you're building Malady right now, you're building Mind Razor next patch. That's what they did. Okay. Or they take that with Stormbreaker. It barely gets used now. It definitely won't. I wonder if, like, the total physical power is that much of a difference. But probably not, considering you're not getting as much bonus physical power. And the base damage is decreased. I don't know why they did that, honestly. Maybe it has to do with the fact that they buffed, like, Sky Splitter, so they don't want it to be, like, oppressive with Sky Splitter. I don't know. Cleave only on base 6 now with Mind Razor. Doesn't matter, you just get extra power. And the cleave is increased. It's like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you just go Mind Razor over a Malady now every time. You get a smaller shield off Nightfall. Omen, less base damage on the proc. And less scaling on the proc. Tainted Trident. Lower pen. Increased anti-heal. It's interesting that this has 40 or has 50% versus Tainted Rounds having 45%, meaning that there's different levels of anti-heal now. I assume it still just takes the highest priority. Pretty sure Stormbreaker's gonna be busted actually. If you gotta check but I gotta check the numbers. I don't know if it will be. Our values are increased across the board, and they nerf Malady. They did criminally nerf Malady, yeah. HD Meds with the math. I mean, Meds, when you do the math on this, like, it's probably better when you initially buy it, but it's probably worse, like, mid-late game by a long shot. Assassins are meat. Actually true. Now I know why the fucking... I forget when they showed the Kalari video off, like, on the dev stream. I know why she did no fucking damage now. You get less bonus damage on Tainted Trident passive as well. Less scaling as well. So this is going to be way less damage on Tainted Trident. Moon Speed and Berserker's Axe reduced. More damage on the proc, though. Instead of max HP, it's based on your physical power now, so you can't really build it on tanks as easily. Passive cooldown reduced. No longer has its cooldown reduced on hit. I didn't even know it did that, honestly. Less movement speed. Citadel, extra armor, or extra power. Citadel, already a good item. Legacy, extra armor, probably a good thing. Overlord, increased power, health decreased. Upon killing an enemy unit, permanently gain 1 health, increased to 3 for camp leaders and 5 for heroes. Upon reaching 150, stacks gain an additional 200 health. Okay, so it doesn't give you power conversion. But if I'm playing Sevarog, I'm building this. Okay, got it. What about buyable wards? There are no buyable wards, man. What do you want from me? It's probably a rampage item, honestly. Makes it way less, like, buyable for a lot of characters. It still has cleave, though, which is kind of nice. On Sev, brother, Sev has infinite stacks, bro. Your one has max HP scaling. What do you mean? This might be busted on Sev. We'll see, though. I don't know if you'll build it on Sev, but I might try it. You get a lot of free HP, man. 10k HP Sev incoming. Yeah, I mean, this will be an interesting item to test. I don't know if it'll be better than it is now, but it'll be interesting to try. So we'll infinite stacks. I imagine so. I don't know if it stops at 150 and then you get 200 HP and it stops, or if it's infinite, but at 150 you get extra HP. I assume it's the latter, where it's like at 150 you get the extra HP, but it goes infinite. I assume it's infinite, based on the way it's written. It just like, it's like Sev, where like when you hit a certain threshold you get a bonus, but like after that threshold it's just the one. Rapture. Omnivamp increased, ability haste removed. Good. The ability haste is why this item was so strong, honestly. Extra base damage when somebody's close. Extra scaling when somebody's close. Creates its name instead of Fire Blossom. Is that why I was getting hit by fucking... I forget who I was playing against the other day, bro, and I got hit by Fire Blossom for like 1200 damage, bro. That must have been what this was. Because I was like, how the fuck did Fire Blossom hit me for 1200 damage? The guy hit me for like twice. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, that makes more sense now. This better item. No haste, though, makes it a little bit more awkward to build, especially if you're like Overlord into it or something like that. Shield less on Salvation. Omnivamp increased. Activation threshold lowered. The activation threshold is a big nerf, because now it's a lot, like... It's less likely you live to actually build a lifesteal with this, especially with the shield being lowered. This is a pretty big nerf to Salvation, even though you get extra Omnivamp. Tainted Blade, anti-heal increased. Amplification damage decreased. That's a big nerf to Tainted Blade. That's like a 25% nerf to Tainted Blade. Passive for Caustica doing extra damage, nerfed by 50%. Pretty big nerf, honestly. Still going to be a must-build item because there's no other pen options for mids, unfortunately. Noxia increased by 1%. That's good. Entropy, nobody cares. 1 less damage. Technically, a 25% nerf. I don't think you're building it on anybody but Iggy and Scorch anyways. This is probably just a nerf to Iggy and Scorch. Alright, Soulbinder. Not only activates on ability damage against heroes. I wasn't aware that it didn't activate on ability damage against heroes, but I guess that's because nobody could hit further range than auto attack, so I guess that makes sense. Now that the auto attack range is increased, I have to change this. You get less true damage. You get new passive. Punching Arcane Salvo permanently gain one magic power. Okay, they just made this item like they just split it into 2 passives basically, but it's still the same item. Didn't really change much. Still gonna be really good. Probably better next patch actually, just due to the fact that people are playing more range in general, and some abilities have further range, like Gideon 1. Less damage per stack on Tainted Scepter, less percent scaling on Tainted Scepter, increased blight. Still gonna be a must build because anti-heal is a must build in this game. Movement speed decreased on Wraith Leggings, probably a good change. Less movement speed on Galaxy Greaves. Again, you're getting more movement speed on most characters in general, so like these slight changes to movement speed just mean that they're probably going to be pretty consistent with what they are now. Martial, extra radius, makes sense because you're auto-attacking for the further distance. Tainted Charm, more radius, more anti-heal, and Tainted Totem. True Silver Bracelet, shield going down. Again, it's affected by armor now, so it's like more valuable in general. It's probably a buff to True Silver still over the course of the amount of mitigation that you actually get. Vanguardian effect increase. Honestly, I think it's a little bit of an underrated item, personally. Quantum Core renamed to Warp Stream. Tell you Blink not damaged within 3 seconds instead of out of combat. This is a good change. One of the reasons why I think the item was kind of shit right now is that it takes like 8 seconds to get out of combat. This being 3 seconds instead of 8 makes it significantly more viable in general. No cooldown, it just always does more damage. Did I miss that on Soulbinder? Oh, I guess you're right, yeah. The extra 5% is just perma. That's actually a big buff. I didn't realize that. Good catch. What's up, Caramel? Brother, you need help. Yeah, I didn't notice that. So the 5% bonus damage is permanent. Like, it's always active. It's not on cooldown anymore. That makes sense why they split it now, because I was a little confused. That makes a lot of sense. That's a big buff to the item, actually. Wind Collar, less movement speed. Crystalline, less passive movement speed. No health regen, more armor, more HP. Less stacks to fully stack it. Don't think that really makes a difference to the item. It's still going to be really good. Frostguard, less armor, or less physical, more magical. That makes it better, honestly. As like a catch-all item. Stonewall, more health. Bastion, more anti-heal. Tainted Guard, more anti-heal. And Broken Will, more HP. Warden's Faith, crit reduction increased. Warden's Faith going to be a lot better next patch. And then a bunch of bug fixes. That's a fucking huge patch, bro. 2.5 hours, bro. Holy shit. That's a long fucking patch. Oh my god. Holy shit. God, that was a lot of changes. Whew. Anyways.
Look, the only losses.
What is overall? Overall, give me some
realize,
numbers, bro.
You know
1 to 10. What do you guys think? Final. Thank you for the 4 months, man. I appreciate it. We'll go back to the burnouts, brother. Hope you're gonna have a great fucking date today, man. Thank you for the prime. Whew. Nap time. Now we queue up some games. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I would say probably like an 8. Honestly, gonna need to try it though. They're definitely gonna have to balance some stuff. 6.9, nice. 9, 6 or 7. 6.9, 7, 7, solid 6, 8. Seems to be like a 7 average, I would say, for most people. I think it'll definitely make the game feel a lot more fresh. Hopefully. There's some things that I wish were different, and like balance was a little different, but we'll just see. Tank meta, bruiser meta, or assassin meta. Definitely not assassin meta, unless you count Chimpy as an assassin, which I guess is assassin meta. As far as tank or bruiser, probably a tank meta, but I don't know. Could also be a bruiser meta because tanks might die too fast. It doesn't seem like they nerf. It seems like they buff damage in general. Who noobs like you better understand what's coming. I try. Honestly, that was a long ass fucking patch notes. I tried to go a lot faster towards the end. That shit was insane. Murdoch meta low key. Yeah, Murdoch's gonna be really good. Drink some water. I need some ants. Map changes when? That's the real question, man. Okay, now we get to fucking play in the game.